Hello friends and enemies on the internet. I'm just checking everything should be working. YouTube. Double checking YouTube. Yes, okay. Okay, back to the game. Yes, today I'm gonna do a Lynette hangout. But first I wanna do the Abyss. I have been putting it off. I should do it though. I'm not happy when this number at the top of my screen is at like A3. Makes me uncomfortable somehow. I don't know, man. Yes, I know. Wait, what was it? Normal charged and plunge attack after swirl reaction. Is that like the Kazuha buff? Why is everything not like I wanted? Yes. I think my teams are still the Kokomi one. Coco Fury. Let me see. I should change them. Here we go. No. No time. No time today. And on the other... Oh yeah, I remember. Here we go. And then one Zhongli. Sorry, I need to move the chat out of the way. Where is a good place? Maybe up there. Okay. Burst damage. Sure, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really not matter for like this one.
Another test. Solidify.
They're on a line. Woo!
Ring cutter.
I could do it.
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over.
Yeah, they're dying like super quickly.
Test subject.
I hate that we just have to redo the lower floors every time it resets. Let me just do floor 12 and give me all the rewards.
Finally, I got to the
Let me use it first.
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power of Goop.
crumble.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be okay. I need to start this.
Let the world come! Rest and rebuild! Wings of darkness! Yahoo! Think you can get away?
Especially for enemies that can't be CC'd, you have to make sure to place the Venti Burst correctly. I'm not sure how many people know. I'm not sure how many people still play Venti. HP, sure, whatever. Oh yeah, well the fire doesn't do much there anyway. I should have still used the alarm, but it's fine. Here we go. Oh, and I'm frozen. Okay, let's do it properly. Oh my god. I don't have to reset. I'm a bit out of the mood today. It's okay.
Ring cutter. Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Okay. Here we go. Where's the last one? Next to Burst Wave. Why do they spawn so far apart?
Rain outlines your fate. Things are about to get dicey.
Stabilize.
Here we go. Coco side.
Here we go! Hold the line!
Yeah.
By royal decree!
Everything's not like...
Brace yourself!
Here we go. Burst.
Time to shine!
No rest for the wicked.
Time for takeoff! Let's play! Covenant of the
Go. Yeah, Yeah, removing floor vent is really good. Here we go. Thanks for the rewards.
Gather!
Let me
Okay, I
lead you
don't
a
know.
place.
Or not.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Ha 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 ha! Goodbye. Mirror Maiden. You're not tanky on this floor.
Solidify!
There we go. And this first waste my time.
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Yahoo! Think you can get away?
You can try getting invisible, but you're gonna get sucked in anyway. Invisible won't vent immune. I shouldn't give them ideas. Let's see. Hydro first side. I'm not used to having to look lower. I don't like that. Maybe I should level up everyone to 90. I could play Kazuha here, by the way. It would be better, but I don't know. It has been a while since I decided on these teams, so let me just go with them. Not having to change builds and stuff. Will change if I do more Abyss clears, so I don't know yet. I have been taking a break of YouTube as well.
Here we go. Time for takeoff.
Yes, hopefully feeling better now. Hopefully being more consistent now. Whoops, I clicked out of the game. That was... that was scary for a second.
No, my sword.
Didn't expect
Witness the power. Quietly now. Game's up. Huh.
Kahutao. Try them. Yeah, that was quick. Okay, we're going to floor 10. First, whatever, it does not matter. Oh, I hate these.
Reveal that. Yahoo! I summon thee.
Go! Did I not summon?
Shower me with praise.
As you
Yes,
wish, main.
this.
Brace yourselves. Think you
Go,
can get away?
Venti! Good. Bye, specters. Get sucked. Here we go.
Billowing surge.
Maybe I shouldn't do self-praising. Oh man. I remember being so scared of saying accidentally something could be
Let me lead you a
interpreted as being dirty as a teen. Like, I was so scared to speak in general already. I just didn't want to make it fun enough. More than I was already. I sort of was like always in the front of my mind. Kinda interpreted this phrase in a like dirty way, and I'm not that obsessed with it anymore, but like
Your
I'm still trying to be careful around it.
By royal decree.
Your sacrifice is ready.
Time for takeoff.
Maybe not hyperware, but more than this.
Maneuver. Allow
Help it
a
probably.
battle. Let my name echo in song. Midnight, Phantasm. Let's play.
Oops. Couldn't even burst.
Go.
Can we get the yellow burst back?
Solidify!
Ring cutter.
I think my mom is searching for the cats.
Busted.
Time to go.
Oops, I didn't wanna. It's okay. For who it doesn't matter. You'll see for who it does matter if you accidentally burst. Which one is the... yeah, Hydra second side. This is the like Hydra team without Novilette. I like Novilette, but to be honest, his gameplay isn't like the most difficult ever, so Not that Hu Tao would. This team is much more difficult, to be fair. Not at all. I just like playing different stuff and yes, trying different teams. That's why I'm not like proficient with Hu Tao Councils either, because I just
Rain outlines your face.
not playing her all the time. So.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. See?
It just changes. When I'm playing super more attention, it's like easier. If I try not to cancel before I go through the enemy. If I keep talking, I don't notice my mistakes as much.
Things are about to get dicey.
Which is hard because I know I'm technically better. But I want to keep talking because otherwise it's going to be boring for all of us. I'll talk as long as I have something to say. Hello, Mr. Geoshield.
Rain outlines your face. Let me weave you. Here comes the catch.
And then I'm gonna bring Giga Churls with version 5.0 or something. It's not Mega Churl, but it sounds a bit like Mega, doesn't it? Mega Churl.
Solidified. I will
Giga
have
Churl.
order.
Terra Churl.
No, my sword. Witness
I don't
the
know.
power. Quietly.
The little ones are the Micro Churls.
Things are about to get dicey.
Heck yes. Strongly break them.
Stabilize.
Can we? I don't know, I was inspired. It's okay. I can make mistakes on the lower floor. It does not matter. Hello, Shroomies. Get electrocharge.
Think you can get away?
New cooking method. Electrocharge mushrooms. And then eat them with a side of parsley. Don't do that. Doesn't sound very safe.
Let the world collide! Odds reveal. Here we go.
I like mushrooms.
Time for takeoff.
I've never been picking mushrooms. So.
Hold the line.
Sounds a lot of fun. I like being out in nature. Oh no. It's the cryo shield. Okay, fish will go.
Phantasma. Let's move out.
Break the shield, break the shield. No, it's gonna die anyway. It's gonna die anyway. Just double checking. Everything seems to be working good. I still got it. I still know how to do stuff. Crate, sure. What? Oh, not the. These buttons so far away from each other. It's really. What happens if I go like way to this side?
Game's up.
Can we come over here? A little bit. Yeah, okay. We got three grouped up, more or less. Okay, that worked. But yeah, as you can see, my cancels are not particularly good. I'm not fully concentrated either, so there's a second wave, isn't there? Yes. I cannot wait for the next of this. This is kind of annoying.
Things are about to get dicey.
Why am I not? Huh? Why? Did I shorten my rotation? I didn't notice even. I also promised my friend about this. I need to. But maybe not today. I also need to do my Oracan, but I think I'll just do this one. And then if I still have some bit in me after the hangout.
Strike a pose. Brace yourself.
Fish will get hit.
Hold the line.
Whip.
Time for takeoff.
Yeah, they don't get CC, do they?
Odds reveal.
Plenty would Castle would be better here. If you can't even CC them, it's like Castle wins like per default. Okay, what is this floor? again. Oh, it's the attack. Nah, we have shield. It's gonna be alright. It's these guys.
Gather.
Get over here.
Let me lead you. Gotcha. Here comes the catch.
Just for defensive utility and buff from Yalan. That's also beneficial for particle generation. They're not grouped that at all, are they? It's okay. We'll just kill them well enough or another.
Game's up. Fun's over.
If they were like floor 12, I would struggle though. I would seriously be like difficult. Oh, my shield is gonna whoops daisy.
No, my sword.
Particles, thank you.
These are about to get done.
It's taking way too long. It's
Rain
okay.
outlines your fate. Witness
It feels like forever.
Game's
Come on,
up.
Yalan.
Fun's over.
At least give me a buff. Okay, we got him. Yup, they do be annoying. First, you need to stop moving in the wrong direction, please. Go, Venti. I don't think I can see some good again.
Let's move out. Covenant of the Deep. Strike a pose.
Strike a pose!
Allow me.
And we got him. Good, now comes the meat. Yeah, these are first sight. If I do remember correctly, we do this. And then Mr. Venti. Why do I call him Mr. Venti? That sounds wrong. Let me record.
Let my name echo in song.
Echo and song.
Wings of darkness. Yahoo! Time for takeoff.
Yeah, Venti here. I like his utility here. Casa was still be better, but like, I don't want to play the team all the time.
Time to shine. By royal brace yourself. Think you can get away?
Come on.
Covenant
Next.
of the Deep.
Next wave. If you can like CC them right when they spawn, it's the best case.
Must go on. Strike a pop. Let's play. For just a moment.
Come on. Here we go.
Midnight Fin, hold the line. Time for takeoff. Here we
Can
go.
you CC them again? Yes.
Torrent, bring refuge.
Yeah, it's so annoying if you have to hunt them down and just dodge their big attacks.
Pardon me.
Here we go.
Stabilize.
Ring cutter. Busted. Things are about to get tight.
Time to go.
Time to go. Then our
Solidify.
chicken was the fried. Oops, I'm not.
No, my
Cool
sword.
down. Here we
Let
go.
me lead you a burn. Game's up. Fun's over.
okay. ER, HP. HP is good for this team.
Brace yourself.
Why did I start recording
Time to
again?
shine.
It's okay, it doesn't matter.
Allow me. Odds reveal.
Yeah, Hydro, Hydro, or Chio are very good. But Chio, you have to be careful because you're gonna get crystallized for the next phase. For the shield guys. So Hydro is best. I think.
Let my name echo in song.
Not this phase.
You wish me.
Let's play.
What are they
Time
called?
for takeoff. Covenant of the deep.
They don't like shield guys, please. Husks, yes, I do remember.
Strike a pose. Time to shine. Ha! Hold a brash maneuver. By royal decree. Here we go. Think you
It's
can
best
get
to
away?
keep close to the cryo one,
Billowing
or have CC. And heal is also very good, so. Kokomi, very good. Lynette, he's always good, like, unless you Hydro him. Like, particularly good. Oh, come on!
Let my name
Don't hit
echo
my
in song.
Purina.
Shadow Raven. Yahoo!
Well, we're gonna have some trouble with bursts, that's okay. Oh yeah, this.
Gather.
I forgot what was this for.
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power of Google. Gotcha. Here
Come on.
comes the cat.
Here we go. Oh fuck.
Go.
It's okay.
It's over.
Yes. To iframe.
Stabilize.
No, my
Something
soul.
I'm not particularly looking
Let me read you a
forward to are like, you know, you can't iframe
This
with
is about
burst
to get dicey.
whenever you want. It's gonna mess up the rotation.
Solidify.
I sometimes have a bit trouble finding the right one after I down them. Like the center part, the actual PMA. Or sometimes you get stuck because of the hitboxes, which is very annoying. But it worked out fine. Charge, oh yeah, that's good here.
Allow me. Odds reveal. Let's
I
play.
need to find a little bit for Purina here. I'll just do a rotation without reverse, I
Time
guess.
for takeoff. Brace yourself. Turret, bring refuge.
Here also, Kokomi, Lynette, very good picks, of course. You want, ideally, you want to be able to have ranged attacks, not to get
By
stuck.
royal decree. Here we go. Think you can get away?
With the annoying like
Billowing surge.
wind attacks that push you back as well.
Rusted
One
Reven.
more,
Let the world come
one more on.
Wings of darkness.
What happened to my venti energy?
Time for
Here we go.
takeoff. Covenant of the deep.
Goodbye. Okay, it's not too hard if you have a shield, so
Order guide you.
here you go.
No, my soul. Rain cutter. Game's up. Fun's over.
Higher, higher, hands on fire.
Ah, crap. It's okay.
Solidify. This is order.
Witness the power. Here comes the cat.
Go. Timing better this time. I had to be careful because the shield was gone.
outlines your fate. Ring cutter. Busted.
Solidify!
Yeah, it's messing up my rhythm here. But an interesting enemy. Okay, thank you for watching. Do the usual stuff, like, subscribe, whatever you wanna do. I'll leave you with the builds. Heck yes. Everything going good, I guess. Okay, party setup. I'm still recording good. Sometimes. Okay, let's go. I like showing talents as well. Usually they're not like the most important, but when I'm like making the effort to show everything anyway, I may as well show off my crowns. Heck yeah. Manticons. I don't think they're very useful. Anyway. Yeah, for her I have her weapon, but I don't have a C1. Which, like, for purely for damage, C1 is usually what you wanna go for. But I like having the flexibility of weapons, so I tend to go for weapons more. Which I still haven't decided what I will go for on the next weapon banner. Did I just see it on? I think no. There we go. Aqua got on the same banner as Homa. And here we have Fab Shongli, which it's not the greatest because it doesn't have multi-hits, but it can work. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye! Okay, but for the hangout, it's finally gonna be time to start. Let me stop recording. Here we go. Double checking everything. Yes. Looking good. Okay, what team should I go with? Sure, let's go Hydro. Let's go Hydro Nation. I hope I won't have to fight anyone. Hydro, navigate, here we go. Let's go eat some dessert with her. I'm not sure what it's gonna be. I heard that the hangout is great. So, I have expectations. Yo, Lynette. Oh, is this what cat? Meow.
Meow.
She's answering. I have done this before. Not gonna lie.
Oh, it's you. 1 second. Now activating chat mode. You made me jump there. I thought they'd finally caught me.
They? Is someone out to kidnap you? Also, I find like they're having the switch modes and so very relatable. I'm sure they meant for her to just be an introvert that was like relatable to me on a like autism level, I guess.
Objectively speaking, the trouble was entirely of my own making.
Oh no, what did you do?
Half an hour ago, I was at Hotel de Boer for a drinks reception.
Yes, drink.
It was
idea.
to celebrate the successful opening of a show, but it was draining my energy. So, I waited for the right moment, then snuck away so I could switch to standby mode.
I see. So they sent someone to find you and bring you back? But why?
Probably because I'm playing the lead role in the show.
The lead role?
Is that so surprising? I'm
No,
always
but
getting
like...
invitations to do solo performances. I just usually get Linny to write back and turn them down. But then came the Fontanalia Film Festival.
Oh yeah, I do remember
They
that
took
one.
all the kids from the House of the Hearth out to see a film. And after it finished, they all started clamoring for me to try out acting for some reason.
Interesting.
Even Linny was chanting along with them.
Oh no. That sounds a bit uncomfortable for an introvert.
Anyway, it just so happened that a director called Mariu had sent me an invitation
Mariu?
right around then. I'll spare you the details, but basically, I ended up accepting it.
Oh, this is a weird line. So this is the dramatic debut of the magician's puppet, huh?
Yep, you nailed it. I'm playing the role of a puppet.
Oh.
In fact, the show's called The Lost Puppet,
Oh.
and it's a masked mime show.
Interesting.
So I don't have to do any facial expressions or say any lines. Literally just a series of physical
Interesting.
movements.
Something that
The
suits
director
her.
says it's a very avant-garde art form.
Oh, that impression, I like that one. That does sound pretty avant-garde. But can people understand the plot?
Art is not comprehended by the mind, but felt in the heart. At least that's
not sure
what
I
the
agree,
director
but sure.
says. Anyway, if nothing else, the opening performance seemed to go down well.
Okay. You should probably get back though.
At the drinks reception, everyone was crowding around me, saying, "Triumphant character portrayal, faithful adaptation of the
Yeah,
original
that does
work,
sound tiring.
unequivocally, quintessentially avant-garde."
She seems very impressed by them. He doesn't want to come out. Okay, oops. My screen is shaking. You're probably shaking as well. Sorry about that. Let's go.
But being the center of attention is draining. So the moment they left me to go harass the director instead, I was out of there.
For once, you weren't able to use Lenny as a human shield.
The other thing is, some weird things happened while I was on the stage.
Oh. What about Dan? Yes, Kitty. You have a bow tie. It's very cute.
Oh, sorry, Bonnie. I didn't mean to leave you out of the conversation. My bad.
I take it Bunny is your pet cat?
No, we just met. We bumped into each other right after I slipped away.
And you've already named her?
Well, it'd be kind of difficult for us to communicate otherwise. Besides, I think she's taken a liking to the name. Haven't you, Bonnie? Yeah, that's right. Good kitty. We'll go find your owner soon, I promise.
Owner? Not a stray cat then.
Nope. She's wearing a collar.
A
and for
bow
the
tie
most part,
even.
she's pretty well groomed. If she is a stray, she hasn't been for long. Her stomach's been growling a lot. I guess she must have been missing for a few days now. As much as I'd love to hang out with her for a while longer,
Having
her
missing
owner's
pets.
probably worried sick about her.
Very, very
Assuming
horrifying.
she has an owner, that is. But the reception... I should probably show my face there again at some point. Even if it's just to make excuses and leave again.
What are you gonna decide?
Decision time.
Is this a tough decision for you?
Well, I just find it exhausting. Thinking through all the different ramifications of different choices and so on. That's more Lenny's area than mine.
Overthinking,
So,
central.
unless it's something really important, I usually just leave the decision-making to him.
Okay, well, he's not here, so... But for once, he's not here when you need him. Bet that doesn't happen often. Let's just...
It's fine. He got Ferminate to make me a little something for just this situation.
That's not cute.
Poof! A phaetometer.
A phaetometer? It looks very, over the top. Very avant-garde.
It looks pretty over the top, I know. But it's essentially just a box of cards.
Same wavelength, same
He kept the
wavelength.
design simple, so it'd be harder to break.
Interesting.
The way it works is, I pick a card at random,
Okay.
and look at the number on the card.
That's interesting. How does this help to make your decision?
Well, for example, if the number on the card is 5 or higher,
Sure.
I help Bonnie find her owner. If it's less than 5, I go back to the reception.
Simple and straightforward.
I just have to believe in the bond between me and my cards, and my fate
Sure.
will reveal itself to me in numerical form.
Yes.
At least, that's what Linny said.
Well,
Anyway,
it gets the job
I
done.
guess I'll give you a demonstration.
That's what matters. Okay. Decisions time. Horrendous grinding sound.
I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong?
Oops.
Maybe
Why is the screen
if
black?
I just...
Smacks the card box and all of the cards fall onto the ground. Well, oops.
Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
I feel like maybe this wasn't a design issue.
Let's see. Which card did I get? 4.
No helping bunny.
Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts as fate.
Okay, sure.
If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fate decide.
Mm-hmm.
Also something Linny said. So, to put it
Let
another
us
way,
decide.
if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate, then that means it must be the wrong answer.
I think what Lydia really meant was sometimes you have to accept the answer you didn't want.
Or... Why don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means... our fates are, like, interfering with each other.
Oh, overthinking again. Alright, I'll pick another card for you.
Thank you. This one is final, I promise. Here, take the fatometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed. Anything lower than 5 is a fail. Also, if you have your own thoughts
Let's
about
pick
what I
5.
should do, feel free to share it. Now that I've got a good problem solver here to help, I don't need to run every little thing by fate.
She really seems to believe in this fate thing. We can do neither. I wanted to go back, but then I wanted to do the cat thing. We'll do neither first.
Huh?
If it was that urgent, someone would have come looking by now. This applies both to your troop and Bunny's owner. This choice makes no
What you're
sense, but sure.
saying is, since nobody's come looking, I can just keep hanging out with Bonnie for a bit longer?
Sure, why not?
Is that really okay?
Let's give her something to eat. Persuasion. Well, Bonnie seems to like that idea. The random checks triggered by the fatometer often serve as indicators for destiny's course or the success of the failure of an action. Press to draw a card and get a random number between 1 to 20. If the number displayed is greater than or equal to the check difficulty, you will pass this check, otherwise you will fail. So it's like a dice throw, basically. I mean, it's the same logic, but with cards instead of a d20. Adequate preparation, friendly aid can sometimes affect the results of these checks. Okay, so this is like a bonus. Yes, your current checkpoints will be added underneath their number, making it easier to pass the checks. Okay, very D&D inspired. Okay, draw a card. Let's go. 8. Check failed.
Maybe not.
Okay.
As much as I don't want
So
to,
I can choose
really
freely.
should be
It's
getting
all
back.
up to the cards.
Besides, if someone does come looking for me or Bonnie and finds me just chilling out with a cat, I feel like I'd have a lot of explaining to do.
Just don't explain. Sorry. Okay, well, fatometer. I'm not sure. Let's leave this up to fate. Let's do
Alright.
it.
Then let's see where fate will lead me.
Sure. Okay, we need to pass 5. We got 8 again. This time it's success. Okay.
So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner?
I have to ask about this deck of cards.
There's 20 cards in total, numbered 1 to 20. So there's only a 1 in 5 chance of drawing less than a 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. It's
I
correct.
should also mention, this time the cutoff was 5, but I just set that to wherever I feel like.
Okay, I see. Wow, you really don't want to go back to the reception party.
To put in perspective, I said I'd only do the show if I drew a 1.
Aha.
Fate can be pretty sneaky sometimes.
Well, I think you had fun in the process though. So, how do you plan on finding Bonnie's owner?
I think I'll
That's
go
a
to the
good idea.
Steambird and see about putting an ad in the paper. You want to come along? I think Bonnie wants you to come with.
Does she? Or do you? Sure, if that means I get to hang out with you for a bit longer. Oh, Bonnie. I get a fatometer, I guess. Where's my... It's over a bit. That's my mon so low HP. I like have her built, but I barely use her. Maybe I could use a Simini Abyss or something. Just for... Just so I use it again.
Every stupendous day starts with a Steambird. Oh, hi Lynette. Hi Traveler. What can I help you with?
Any commissions in there about a missing cat?
I don't think so. Have you picked up a stray?
Sure have.
Yep. If there's no commission to follow up on, could we post a notice about the missing cat instead?
Why, of course. What a kind thing to do. Just fill out the form.
Sure. You wanna have a little paw print on the form?
Well, we've registered you as missing. You can stay at my place until your owner finds you.
Ow, give her milk, but not too much.
Also, I just wanted to say thanks for keeping us company for so long.
You're welcome. Or you mean the cat?
I should probably head back to the drinks reception. Hopefully most of the people have left by now. If you've got some time, you should stop by my place tomorrow to see Bonnie.
I'll be
There's a
there.
nice cup of tea in it for you. Alright, see you then.
Do we have to time skip? Please, I don't want to time skip. Yeah, 7. It's covered by chat, but like, okay, let's go. 7:02. Good. Close enough. Where are we going? Oh, it's nearby. It's nearby. Yeah. I do remember now. Yes, it was here. What's up?
I believe this cat belongs to me.
Hello, Bernard, Directors of the Humane
I
Society.
already told you, this isn't your cat.
Hello, Elli. You look very pissed.
Just take a breather, you two.
That's what's going on. Let's make the cat decide. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, is this like a double dipping cat that has 2 owners? Is the cat tricking the people? Is that what's going on?
Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you. At least for now.
That seems to be the least of my problems here.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
How do we know you're not lying to us?
No. It's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society.
Escaped? What did you do to the cat? Passive checks are a special type of checks that need not be actively triggered, but instead will automatically trigger at specific times. Automatic dice roll. If you pass, you will find some hidden information such as irregularities in the person's attitude and certain incongruous details. So this is a perception check. Oh. You know, I don't like all the minigame mechanics in this game, but I like this one. I mean, it's time proven already, so... It's a bit unnatural. The hesitation in his voice, it seems like he could be hiding something. His gaze keeps drifting off to the side. He's likely trying not to draw attention to himself. How about we let Bonnie decide?
Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime.
Meow. Animal handling. let's see who Bunny decides to approach. This is also gonna be like a dice throw. Card check. It makes sense thematically for it to be cards. Let's see. We get a 4. That was a fail. Sorry, Bonnie. Can we do it again? Runs to hide behind Lynette.
Well, this complicates things.
I didn't think she'd be so attached to you.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's normal for her not to trust me.
How about the cat stays with Lynette until your friend comes back?
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you name it. I'm not even the one feeding them most of the time. You can hardly expect the cat to recognize me.
Then how are you so sure she belongs to you?
She just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case.
Why are you so convinced it is yours, then?
If she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in.
Yeah,
if
what's with
no
this
one else
Humane
comes to claim her,
Society?
that is. We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals.
But she's
We've
already
been in business
rescued.
for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
Yeah, you're kind of sus here.
The Humane Society.
Okay.
Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. You're the one in the Quartier Lyonnais?
Uni.
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a
Do you have
closer
like
look
pictures
at
or
the cat?
something to compare?
If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here. She would be the only remaining option after all.
It belongs to my friend.
With us here to keep watch, it should be fine.
Go on, Bonnie.
Meow.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies,
Oh
friends.
well, this was all for nothing.
Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
You better apologize. You were so sure it was yours. Gosh darn. So, this is your friend's cat?
Oh, yes, exactly.
You don't sound very convinced.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
You are very
A liar
sus.
always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern.
Yeah,
the
remember
way they
she's a
hold
TUI
themselves.
agent.
The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
Yep, don't try to trick Lynette here, little lady.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
You think you can get away with this?
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. It stands to reason, then, that your agitated behavior earlier was all an act.
What's this about?
If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the Guards.
They will be
or some
used.
similar organization.
The guards will be used to dealing with stressful situations as well.
And you're basing this off of?
Your body language.
Intuition. Nothing more.
Okay, well.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette.
Does she know her name?
You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elli. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here, Bonnie, was her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation.
Well, that took a turn. That took a turn. Ooh. Well, I'm happy with it though. Let's go.
A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird. So, I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But it looks like I overestimated him.
If I were on the run, I don't think I'd come back either.
The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations.
Oh,
If there was even
we're
the
gonna
slightest chance that he would show himself,
meet
I
Chef.
had to follow up on the lead.
Chef. So, what's being smuggled? We're oddly inquisitive here.
A new kind of illegal drug. Imitation synth.
Imitation synth? Oh. Interesting. Is it just sugar pills? Sugar water?
We confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that
That's
goes away
true.
overnight. Even without substances on the market, people are still looking for a way to get their next fix.
Okay. So someone tried to imitate it? How would you fake primordial water? Like, I don't think that's possible. Maybe it's just alcohol or something.
And criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was the impetus for imitation synth. Needless to say, a small-scale market opened up very quickly. After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The
You did?
perpetrators got smart,
Full-on
though,
war on
and shifted
drug.
their sales overseas before those measures could kick in. That's when the imitation synth smuggling began.
Interesting. So the war on drugs isn't working against you either.
We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions.
Okay.
What we were able to find out, however, hasn't proven that useful given the amount of time that has passed.
Okay, so they're way behind
The
in the
Marechaussee
investigation.
Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable of producing a drug like that. That's how we learned about Bonnie's owner.
She's oddly, open about it. Shouldn't this be, secret and all? Who is he exactly?
He's a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute. His name is Pierre. Pierre Lafayette, to be exact.
I don't think it's the right spelling, but it sounds like the fever. Fivre. No, it isn't. It's spelled very differently. It's a weird name.
Lefebvre.
She knows him.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with him.
Pennant? What's a pennant? Oh, I see.
At first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. A search of his house didn't reveal much to go off of either. The Marechaussee Phantom very nearly left it at that. It was only later that we realized the coat of arms on his pendant belonged to none other than the Lafayette family, one of the most infamous aristocratic families
I
in
see.
Fontaine. Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre. At that point, however, we discovered that he'd already fled. Now the guards and the Special Patrol are all searching for him.
Could his family be hiding him?
That's not possible, actually. The Lefebvre family has been gone for a long time.
Yeah, you seem to know them. She had a very immediate reaction.
Exactly. Many years ago, several important members of the family, including the patriarch, were murdered by an assassin of unknown origin.
Oh.
From that point
Oh,
on,
don't tell me.
family's power and influence took quite the hit.
Oh, don't tell me this was the, aristocrat that, bought Lynette. And Lenny freed her. Only to see that, Arlecchino has become before him. Is that the family?
The family is engaged in all manner of crimes. As you can imagine, there's no shortage of people waiting in the wings to take their revenge. And with the family severely weakened, they were able to do just that. Most of the remaining family members succumbed to sickness or hunger. The ones that survived are currently living out their days under a new identity.
Whoop, that sounds like...
Pierre is one of those very survivors.
I see.
He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. His true identity unbeknownst to all. Until now, that is.
Is it really okay to share all this information with us?
Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart and courageous you both are.
that you
And
seem
I
to
know
trust
you
us
possess a strong sense of justice.
way too much, but sure, let's go with
There
this.
could be a chance that Pierre, or one of his accomplices, might attempt to get close to Bonnie. Now that you've been briefed on the situation, I was hoping you'd help us keep a lookout.
Sure, we're gonna track him down.
If I take Bonnie back to the guards with me, There's no way Pierre will try and come for her. Not even the most daring of criminals would attempt something like that.
Yeah. Keep her.
I have to admit, I'm not holding out too much hope that Pierre will come back for her.
Seems
But if
unlikely.
there's even the slightest chance,
We're gonna have
then it's
to
worth a shot.
draw cards again.
Well, I've got some other leads to follow up on. If Pierre does appear, please contact me right away.
Yep, we'll send you an email. How are you gonna contact you? What's wrong?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
It doesn't sound like nothing.
It's just the head of the Lefebvre
Yeah.
family. He was the eminent person
Yeah.
that kidnapped me all
I
these
knew
years
it.
ago.
I'm sorry.
Was at a dinner party. Someone tricked me into boarding the Lefebvre family carriage. Whoever it was, they took me back to their home. But before anything worse could happen, Father intervened.
Then the assassin Elodie mentioned.
Yep. Father was the one who orchestrated
Yeah.
the fall of the Lefebvre family. That's what led Lenny and I to join the House of the Hearth.
Yeah, I do remember my lore correctly
After
then.
all these years. I never thought I'd hear the Lefebvre name again.
Yeah. Are you okay? Oh.
Don't worry about me. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. I was just thinking about Lenny.
That must have been traumatic, for sure.
He's been acting strange recently. He avoids me for
That doesn't
days on
sound
end.
good.
Consumes himself with some secret investigation.
That doesn't
And
sound
then,
very
out of the blue,
suspicious.
pushes me to do that acting job. Thinking about it now, it's almost like the one I drew from that deck of
It's
cards
very
was
possible, you
part of
know.
his plan all along. He must have asked Fremine to help him out. In any case, I know he's hiding something from me.
You think he
He's
knows
really
about
pulled out
Pierre?
all the stops
oh,
this
sorry.
time.
You think he knows about Pierre?
It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me. It wasn't necessary, though. Even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever.
Hmm.
You'll have to help me teach him a lesson if we run into him along the way.
Along the way, are we going somewhere?
Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to
Sure,
learn
let's
more
go.
information about Pierre. Just let me activate search mode and
Search
then
mode.
we'll head out. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into Lenny along the way.
Are you trying to help out Lenny with his investigation?
A little bit of both, perhaps.
I see.
For the most part, though, I just have the sense that something's not right.
Yeah.
Something isn't adding up about Pierre's story. I'm just not sure what.
What could it be? I also want to know what secret he's hiding. Yes,
Okay.
Bonnie, let's go.
I'll write a letter explaining everything to the crew. Once that's done, we can head out.
Sure, let's go. We have this time skip again. No. Let's go, detectives. Yes, let me teleport, please. Oh! I thought we would run into her.
Lynette, you're, not at rehearsal?
Does it look like a real rehearsal?
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon. You should know better than to try and keep something from me. You've never been able to do that, even when we were kids.
And that's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too good.
Well, she's your sister after all.
Care to introduce us to your new assistant?
she looks so dumb.
This is Officer Shavras, captain of the
Hi,
Special
Shavy.
Security and Surveillance Patrol. You may have met her already.
We meet again.
Nice to see you.
Yay.
I should clarify something. Mr. Lenny's here at my invitation, not the other way around.
Sure.
To borrow your expression, Miss Lynette, I suppose that would make him my assistant more than anything.
Okay.
We've brought on Mr. Lenny as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us crack a case involving a perpetrator who used magic tricks to commit crimes.
Oh, yeah, that sounds
I was hoping he'd be
interesting.
able to provide some valuable insight this time around as well.
Are you here because I love Lefebvre case.
So you've heard everything then?
Well, I'm not sure about everything, but
That's
enough.
exactly why we're here. There's always been questions surrounding the fall of the Lefebvre family. Some
Lefebvre.
people even believe the House of the Hearth was involved.
Some people might be right.
Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. This very fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that Harbinger.
That Harbinger? You don't seem to hold her in very high regards, do
I
you?
took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it wasn't hard to deduce that there's ill will between you two. Don't worry, I don't have any evidence to that effect, and I certainly don't plan on going to bat for such a despicable family. Plus, you were victims back then more than anything.
So you're on the side,
I sought
basically.
Mr. Linney's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more.
Sure. You're really teaming up with the House of the Hearth?
The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between
Yeah.
us as people, not the organizations we represent.
Seems like her
Besides,
style.
by working together, we can expose the truth as quickly as possible. You can hardly say that's at odds with the justice my organization strives for.
Assuming you wouldn't be opposed to some extra help.
Not at all.
Let's
I
go.
was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette.
Where are you?
It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Okay. Yeah.
Lynette,
You.
I'm not the same person I was back then. That little girl who did nothing but cower in the corner in fear. She doesn't need saving anymore.
My little sisters don't stay little forever. I know you want to protect your little sister. Let's
I'm
go.
sorry, Lynette. You're right. I let my concerns get the better of me.
Yep, you did. It's okay.
Oh, and the next time you want to distract me, you should try a different approach.
I would suggest desserts.
Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
Okay, Bonnie wasn't part of the distraction then.
It's a bit complicated. I'll explain later. Anyway, her name's Bonnie.
Well, if there are no objections, then I suppose the only thing left to say is... Lynette, Traveler, welcome to the team.
Let's go. You sure what
It
they
appears the
learned?
Lefebvre family was very particular in their use of insignias and emblems.
Particular?
The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate child.
Interesting. So that would mean Pierre is a bastard child. Don't call him bastard.
It's highly likely. That very status might have been what allowed him to emerge from the fall of his family relatively
Yeah.
unscathed. It would also explain why he was able to assume a new identity as a researcher with relative ease.
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers, it appears he pretty much works at the Institute in name only. He's practically been cast out.
What did he do? Wait, what happened?
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth.
Oh.
He tried to use the resources at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect.
And so he is the manufacturer.
He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless.
As they
He was
should.
placed on disciplinary leave, pending a thorough investigation of his actions.
And then
but
he ran away.
It seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue. In any case, they had to table their
Maybe it
formal
was the
investigation
whole-
into Pierre. Unfortunately, that also included reporting any relevant information to the higher authorities.
That does sound like the Institute, alright. Maybe the purpose was the whole Institute flying to the smithereens.
As for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information. All they could tell us was that he was quite the recluse.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to take our investigation somewhere else then. Did you find anything useful at his residence?
Other than the pendant, we didn't find anything else of note at his residence in Poisson.
Interesting.
Based on the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze, it appears the substance leaves behind strong traces wherever it's produced or stored.
That sounds good. Can we like detect his UFO light or something? That would be
Those
very...
traces might not be obvious to the casual observer, but they're not
Okay.
something our guard poodles would miss. Pierre's home, though, came up completely
Okay.
clean. We didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either. So, The Marechaussee Phantom didn't view him as a major suspect at first.
How did you figure out about his past and the institute?
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated area where he made the imitation synth.
Seems likely.
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. You would think
Doesn't
with him
sound
out
like
and
an
about
ideal
so much,
candidate for
people would
having
have
a
spotted
pet,
him around Poisson,
to be honest.
But residents said they barely ever saw him in town.
Okay, maybe the residence was more like name only
If
thing.
his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him to have a secret base to carry out his business.
Secret base.
After he
let's go.
disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson, but they didn't come across any
Well, it
suspicious
doesn't have to be in
locations.
Poisson. Maybe it's in the
Poisson.
water as well. What is it, Lynette?
You know Hotel de Boer, where I first found Bonnie? To get there from Poisson, you have to cross a stretch of ocean.
That's true.
It's not somewhere a cat could just wander off on its own.
Maybe the cat took the aquabus. What about that?
A cat?
Hi!
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marechaussee Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report.
Maybe they found like
So
the
this is
tray
her?
or something.
From what we've learned
Let me
about
introduce
Pierre's
you.
habits,
Oh,
he doesn't
crap.
seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So
That was fail on my part.
is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then
She must have wandered off only after Pierre brought her to his secret base.
Exactly. Bonnie might even know where it is.
Yep, Bonnie, you are our dog now. Let's
Wait.
find it.
You think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
We just have to pretend we're gonna feed her. Maybe that works. I can give it a go. Meow, meow, meow. We learned from Sarah, didn't we? 12. Okay, that's not gonna be too easy. Let's see. 5. Epic fail. Keep failing these. Merchant.
Guess she's a little skittish around strangers.
I'll leave it to you then.
Meow. Meow meow. Meow?
Oh, she's so cute. Did that work? Bonnie seems to understand what you want her to do. She flicks her that was too quick.
Near the coast, the beach, and beneath the cliffs. The place we're looking for is most likely north of the court of Fontaine.
Sounds right, yes. Let's go.
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
It's not exactly a witness statement, it's just a little tip. Tip on the side.
well, if it works out, maybe it's something worth getting used to.
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language alone. But
Interesting.
humans tend to rely too much on speech to ever take advantage of that fact.
Well, it seems like you are very good in
Of
body
course.
language then.
Body language has its limitations. You're not going to be able to get across anything too complicated.
Yeah, how did you figure
The
this
important
out?
thing is that we now have a lead. Let's try and find a place that matches the clues Bonnie gave us.
Let's go. North kind of part of Fontaine. Let's go back. Let me. Why do I keep selecting the wrong thing? Doo-doo-doo. Okay, let's go. Yes,
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
let's follow her.
Gardamex ahead.
Look out!
Oh, we're still.
Stop that!
Oops. Crap.
Decided by destiny.
My rotation's messed up. Oh, God, Sean, let me just do my stuff.
The birds come. Settle down. Let the mighty be humble.
The mighty be humbled indeed. Get fried. Where were we going? Oh, following the cat. What's with these barrels? Oh. Hi.
Wow, Lynette, you found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I'd recruit you into the Special Patrol here and now. No questions asked.
Sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters daily from people trying to poach her
Oh.
from me.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
Let's go. Let's look at the bottles. Investigate.
Aha! Just as we thought. This is where the imitation synth was being made.
These bottles and jars, they're all imitation synth?
Looks like he's got more than just imitation synth stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify.
Oh!
These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like its smell.
I
The Special
see.
Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records indicate that it's very difficult for ordinary people to detect traces left behind by the stuff. I'm
I
sure that was
see.
the case for Pierre as well.
How do you see it? As like elemental vision, maybe?
It must have taken a considerable amount of time and skill to ensure all those traces get washed away. But what are these other drugs for?
But let's choose. No, it's not working. Dang it. This seems like raw materials, maybe?
The material these bags are made of.
Yeah,
It's
it
quite
looks
rare.
like flowers or something, I don't know. Doesn't it look very similar to materials for magic pockets?
It's the very same, actually. Romaritime flower
I was
fiber.
right with the flower thing.
But there's something special about the composition of these bags. I took a closer look, and it appears they're not only waterproof, but also corrosion and leak resistant.
Okay. Does he like synthesize the materials inside of the bag, maybe?
Even the strings look specially designed to keep the bags closed nice and tight. I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were much smaller and thinner. From the look of them, they seemed far less durable as well.
So kind of like the one of the small sealed bags.
Very similar, actually. Normally, it would be easy for a guard poodle to sniff out the imitation scent.
Yeah.
But if it was sealed away in a bag like that,
Seems like
it
easy
might be
abusable.
possible to elude detection for some time. But what could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation synth hidden and sealed away, these bags seem a bit too conspicuous.
Maybe they're used for the materials. I think I'm onto something. Okay, we're gonna have where's Lynette? Here. Some more barrels.
When the Marechaussee Phantom searched Pierre's house, there was no sign of these barrels, right?
Holy, that's a lot of text. He must have moved them, but carrying them all the way here would attract too much attention.
You're right. That doesn't seem like his way of doing things. How did he get them here then?
Examine the barrels. The barrels show signs of water damage. Dried up water stains can be seen around the circumference of the barrels. These seem to be a pattern to the location of the. There seems to be a pattern to the location of water stains. For some reason, they appear to be limited to the lower half of the barrels. So maybe he like swam there with both. Maybe I don't know, man. The lids don't seem very tight, leaving sizable gaps around the edges, but there doesn't appear to be any trace of water inside the barrels. Maybe he had like the magic pocket thingies inside the barrels.
Only the lower halves of the barrels appear to have been submerged in water.
Yes. Why is that? Did he like have a boat accident? I don't think we've
Based on
figured
the
out that
various
much.
ingredients we've found, this appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual
Yes.
traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get past the guard poodles.
That's why the Marechaussee Phantom didn't find anything special in his home. Also, I'm just so stoked that they have like canonically guarded poodles in particular. Like, I would have to expect like the Labrador kind of dog to be the police dogs, but nope, it's the poodles.
So then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses.
Okay, I'm not sure why you're so certain about this, but
The
let's
cleaning
roll with it.
agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles. But if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off,
So
A
something
quick
is up
search
with the
would reveal
barrels then.
everything. That's still a very risky operation.
You could just have someone else do your dirty work as well. What about a drop-off happened at sea? There'd be no one around to see him.
The barrels we found were wet around the base, but the top half was dry. As if they'd been standing upright in the water.
Yeah, like at the edge of the water.
If you put a barrel in the water, it will normally float on its side. Unless it's heavily loaded, in which case it'll sink.
So he must have used something to tightly seal big bags full of air. Oh, the magic pockets. Turning them into airtight flotation devices.
Yes. With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water. And
Probably
then
they're
he
smart.
could afford to load them more fully.
Smarter than me in this case. Yay! Thanks for the illustration.
You think he used floating barrels? I suppose if he acted at night, when there are very few other boats around and
Yes.
visibility is low, it's a valid theory. We can't rule it out.
I'm not sure why he wouldn't just put the barrels on the boat. I guess that would be more visible, but I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Let's roll it.
Then
Let's roll
wouldn't
it.
the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Barrels that can go float away and get lost at the sea. You have an anchor for the barrels, maybe. So it's difficult to keep in one place, kind of like certain pets. Hi, Bunny. What's up?
Traveler, can you come take a dip in the sea with me? I have a feeling that somewhere down there, we might find some rope. If a rope can be used to keep
Yeah.
a pet from running away,
Like an anchor.
then why not a barrel?
Let's go diving. Let's give me some crabs. Remember when crabs used to be like very rare thing to find before Inazuma? Let's see.
Wreckage of a small boat?
Oh, did he sink? I
This
was
isn't the place.
was a rise of the boat accident, or was it just how do you say, coincidence?
This isn't the place.
Oh, come on. Let me get some of these then. Okay, let's go back. Probably we'll need this. Oh no. I don't want to fight right now, thanks you. Some more stuff to investigate here. Come on. Please. Here we go. Here's the rope.
Got it.
This is the anchor.
Time to go up and report.
Dolphin dive! Let me see. Oh no, I don't have stamina. Dolphin dive! Whee! Anyway. For most of Fontaine exploration, I didn't have Fontaine in my squad.
As expected, we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this.
Another illustration, I guess.
With this anchoring system, it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. You would just need to drop them in the water at the agreed-upon location. We also came across the wreckage of a small boat. It must have been left out on the water and capsized due to the force of the wind and waves. Its small
That seems more
size,
likely than an
however,
accident, yes.
would have made it perfect for staying undetected.
Let's talk this through. Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like Pierre would row a small boat out to the agreed-upon
Do you
transfer
really
point,
have to spell it
drop
out?
off the barrels, leave, and then row back and retrieve them after the transfer was complete.
Yes, that sounds like what's happening. Why use such a convoluted drop-off method, though? Wouldn't it be easier for both parties to meet up at the transfer point in their respective vessels and exchange the goods right there and then and there?
It could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face to face. As one of the sole survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
Yeah, not being detected. He was quite a recluse, so I think Lynette's onto something.
Seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times.
Yes.
That way, the two parties wouldn't
Why did he have
meet
to
each
say
other.
everything like 3 times though?
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relationship.
Yes.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental
No.
to solving a case.
Hold on a
Possible
second.
they were just trying to keep a low profile. 2 boats sailing to the same location at
Yes,
once could be
it's
too
possible.
conspicuous.
But we could use that to trap the one that does get the paddles, or to catch. To put them out and wait underwater or something until the boat comes up. We could catch one side of the transaction this way. Keep that in mind, troopers.
The most important thing is that we can now confirm Pierre wasn't acting alone. The floating
Yes,
barrel
that's true.
drop-off system is proof enough of that. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth.
Yes. What about
That would
catching?
mean there has to be at least one other person involved in the
Yes,
operation.
let's catch them.
Likely in charge of transporting the goods across the border.
Okay, that explains why I couldn't find evidence linking him to any overseas operations.
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport and docked along the shore rather than at a large port.
Yeah.
If that's the case, it's unlikely there would be any record left behind.
Have you looked into the ports already?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes
Before
sense.
Pierre
Of
disappeared,
course.
we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border.
A small boat on a few large barrels isn't going to get it very far.
You're right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. That's the only way they would be able to smuggle
Yeah, they
on a
must have
large enough
hidden it
scale to make a
somewhere, and
profit.
very well.
They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections.
We can still search for the clues.
Exactly. We can't let any opportunities slip through the cracks. Although, given the amount of ports that could be involved, we should probably split up.
Split
I'll
up
run home and
time.
ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette, Traveler, why don't you head to Lumiduce Harbor and see what you can find out?
Sure, Lumiduce Harbor it is.
Come on, Bonnie. You too.
Yes, don't forget the cat. Do not forget. Do not forget the cat. Do not the cat. Let's go. Yo, Gorgs. What's up?
Oh, Lynette, Traveler. And Bonnie, too. What brings you all here?
That's the girl from before, isn't it? Yeah, Elodie.
Did something happen?
Hi, Sarai. We're here to check out the travel logs. Information exchange happening.
I see. Thank you for everything you're doing for the people of Fontaine.
What are you doing here, by the way?
I'm in charge of guarding the port. You mentioned
She's
you're
sus.
after some travel logs, right? I can go fetch those for you.
She's very sus. Is she in on it? Is she in on it?
Looks like I've got another hard day of work ahead of me.
Are things usually pretty hectic around here?
No, not usually. It's this incident that happened recently. Before that, everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate anything suspicious and we could call it a day. Pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
But things are much more complicated now. We somehow let suspicious cargo pass through the port undetected. Not even our guard poodles were able to sniff it out. Even worse, we still don't know how the perpetrator was able to conceal
So you have to
the
check
goods
everything
so
like
well.
extra well.
By suspicious cargo, do you mean imitation synth?
Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example. We confiscate all sorts of contraband during the course of our inspections. Or at least, we're supposed to.
So what happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly dubious, we'll turn them over to the Maison Orderly.
What's orderly? What's Maison Orderly?
If the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband, we return them to the ship they were confiscated from, instead of letting them pass through the port.
Okay, I see.
Sorry for the wait. These are the travel logs for all the recent activity at the port.
Hello, Gerard. What's up?
You brought Gerard with you.
Gerard!
Actually, he followed me here himself. It's like he smells something on me.
Something up with the logs, maybe?
Huh.
Why?
I wonder why Gerard is reacting to you two so strongly.
Could be because we just left the place where the imitation synth was made. Whatever Gerard smells on you probably came from us.
Huh? We were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on us. If it leaves a residue so easily, I just don't understand how the culprit was able to disguise the goods at all.
Yeah, has it to do with magic pockets?
Why don't you have a look at the travel logs first? All ships coming in and out of the port are recorded here, except for the ones the port authorities ride to and from work.
That sounds like a huge gap right there. I'll just let you know. I think I figured it out. You flip through the numerous travel logs, you notice several instances where the Humane Society is listed. The name really seems to stand out.
The Humane Society.
Oh, I see. We've encountered that organization before, right?
Their name is all over the exit logs. The purpose for leaving is always listed as overseas adoption.
Oh, so the whole pet organization thing was a cover-up for the drug ring?
Ah, the director of the organization explained that, actually. He said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also very popular overseas. So, his organization offers an overseas adoption program.
Mm-hmm.
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society, was the man who came looking for Bonnie earlier.
Yep. Yes. Your boss might be a smuggler. The cat of from Pierre just looks like the cat the Humane Society is looking for. Could it really be a coincidence? I don't think so. It seemed as if Bernard was also hiding something. He seemed so insistent, but only ran a cursory check before leaving like that. Yeah, that was very sus. When he came looking for Bonnie earlier, what if he wasn't actually there to check if Bonnie was his missing cat? Maybe he was there for some other purpose.
Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods?
Well, I have two theories. I think it's the second one. But the first one is that I hid them in the boats that or attached to the boats that the staff of the harbor comes and goes from. And the second is that they have just pets on the boat, so the carpools get distracted.
When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
Smuggle imitation synth.
Wait, what?
Really?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were specially made to be corrosion resistant.
So that it wouldn't be digested.
And there were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water.
So the animals would be able to breathe.
Those drug shovers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets.
See.
The
It's
perpetrator
cat.
must have given it to the animals.
So that it would keep still on the floating barrels.
Pierre must have made the
That's
animals
like
swallow the sealed
horrible.
bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
That sounds like horrible way
The
to do
sealed
it.
bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask the
Yeah.
scent of imitation synth.
During our inspections, We would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for anything suspicious. Even if we tried to feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss.
Do you think Bonnie could have imitation fins in her stomach?
She's probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never left without her. I'm guessing he didn't know whether Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth before he fled. Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that one of the very cats he gave to Pierre for the smuggling operation is out in the open.
This is so horrible.
roaming
I'm
the
not
streets of
over it. I'm not
Fontaine.
over it. This is so horrible.
If Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation
Yeah.
synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of their crimes. He would have had no choice but to go after her.
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a closer look at the cat.
Pierre must have fled in a hurry. That fact is probably what spared Bonnie.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pets, but those... what did you call them again? Floating barrels? Why even put the animals in there in the first place?
To hide them, I guess.
If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation synth directly? Why not wait to hide the stuff until after the exchange has been made?
What? Oh, you mean like the pickup? Yes, I see.
In order to make sure the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them.
And if any of the imitation synth leaked out, they would have also needed a lot of cleaning agent to get rid of the resulting smell.
That step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So, it was better left to the more experienced Pierre. We've already proven how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation synth, so I'm sure Bernard was taking all the precautions he could to avoid the same fate.
Well, it's still a horrible way to do it. Sure.
Okay, then let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice. I'll bring a Gardamek to speed up the process.
Okay, so she isn't sus after all. Well, I'm not 100% convinced, but as the story is going, probably not. It was sus for her to prop up too. Yo, what are we doing?
The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
Ah, you're the people from earlier. Wait, you're from the guards?
Does that surprise you?
After him! We can't let him get away!
Lynette, go! Time to use her E. He isn't very fast, is he?
Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy, have mercy. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything I
Oh,
know.
that was quick.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have committed such an atrocious deed
It's
in its
horrible. Like, that probably would have died if the, like, bags opened in their stomach,
Look, I didn't
didn't
have a
they?
choice, okay? My father cared about those blasted animals so much, he didn't bother to take care of his human wife and son at all. While those animals were showered with love, I lived worse than a dog.
Well, that still doesn't give you the right to mistreat animals.
No one asked. Tell me, how did you first get to know Pierre?
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it gradually became harder and harder to maintain its operations. Until one day, someone suddenly passed me a letter. It said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to transport
that was
some
your
animals
mistake.
abroad. It was only after a few such transports that I finally understood what I
Oh,
was
so
really
you are
transporting.
tricked as well.
But then Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards.
This sounds like it would be self-incriminating for Pierre if he did that. Even if they like would only charge Bernard, they would have to figure out that he got it from somewhere and kept investigating. That doesn't sound like a very credible threat, given what we know now, but maybe it was different for Bernard in the situation. Of course he would be scared, I understand, but like, just on the face of it, doesn't sound like a very credible threat. Seems a bit unnatural. Okay, maybe it isn't true. This was a hint of dishonesty in his trembling voice. He is lying.
You knew it from the very beginning, didn't you?
You figured it out.
The reason why you had to go through so many steps just to transport some animals.
Yeah, probably was like the same animals back and forth as well.
I'd suggest that you confess everything right now if you don't want to add anything else to your list of crimes.
Yes, officer. I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat.
Yeah, that sounds very
Once I
roundabout.
sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals sleeping in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad.
Okay, so they still were like...
That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting times and found all the foreign adopters. Oh, and he even supplied all of the goods, too. I just did the transport. He was the one who planned out and executed everything else.
Sure. Where is he now?
Look, I don't know, okay? I've never, ever met him in person. We've only ever communicated through letters.
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night, he said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't mention where he's thinking about going, though, but he did tell me to look out for the guards.
Well, you did not manage to do this successfully, so...
It's been a few days since Pierre's last appearance. I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
So, where's that letter now?
I burned them. It was on his orders. I had to burn every letter after reading them. I wasn't even allowed to share them with the rest of the society employees.
Okay, so the rest don't know?
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
Yeah.
No, I swear, this time I'm only telling you the truth.
Well, we can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House.
Yes.
I hope you know
Sounds
what'll
like a
be coming
plan.
for you if I were to find any discrepancy between the evidence and the
Nope.
testimony you just
Neverlette's
gave.
gonna, like, bang his cane onto the floor.
I know, I swear I was just telling the truth.
My thanks to you both. Had it not been for you, I really don't know what would have happened to this case.
Bonnie helped, too.
Yes.
That's true. It was all thanks to her that Bernard was finally exposed.
And that also explains why he has a pet in the first place, or like multiple, I guess. Bunny! Hounds, you and Lynette.
And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well. Then I'll leave you be. Just let me know if you find any other new leads.
Lynette's expression seems a bit unnatural.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow, that hurt. Ow!
Contemplation. They're about to leave. Is it really okay to let them go? Contemplation check. There's no way. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to redo this so many times.
Is everything really over? I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as simple as it appears.
Maybe they're like brothers or something.
Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case.
I mean, it's a pretty
And it has only
brutal
gotten
case, not
worse.
gonna lie.
No good.
Oh no. Oh no,
I've still got
Bernard.
nothing, and I'm nearly out of energy.
Don't force yourself.
Alright, I'll stop thinking about it for now. At the very least, we've made it so that no more animals will suffer like those poor animals did. And that's what I hope. Let's go to the Humane Society and see if there are any animals left that might still need our help before my energy for today completely runs out.
Oh no, her spoons are gone. Save. Oh, view. Okay, so we got one ending. Yay. Okay, we'll try to get like Ending hints. Continue playing. Man still.
Was that obvious, huh? Well, even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying, after talking to him, I'm getting an even stronger sense that something's not quite
Maybe
right.
he was coerced. He did say that, but that was a lie. Well, maybe he was actually coerced by something else.
We
I
investigated
don't know,
so
man.
quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Let me activate deduction mode and consider things again from the top to see if we can find anything new.
Okay,
Is
let's
there
go.
still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider?
I think the relationship between Pierre and Bernard would be one. What we find in there's an unexplained part in the operation of his trafficking ring. How did he get the materials and wasn't detected, maybe?
Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre deals with supplying the goods. Is there something else in this scheme that we're missing?
Oh, we get to have the thought bubble thing. Okay, let me move the chat a little bit. Ingredients. Yeah, can no longer get the materials from the Fontaine Research Institute. Only needs to get them from some other plane. Let's go with connections. Past memory of the Weber family will probably have a number of connections outside of Fontaine. Yes, let's go with that. Ledger. Bernard can become considered for his work after completing a shipment, like with the next round of supplies, I guess. The record will be as long as it is funds as an individual rather through the Humane Society. Yeah, like hand off, interpret. Bernard and Pierre coordinated handoffs by passing floating barrels to each other in an open stretch of water. So let's go by communication, because that really is us. Always communicated in writing. So they must have had someone deliver the letters, wouldn't they? Maybe a carrier pigeon or something? I'll go with carrier pigeons, but this is us. And all this letter have been burned, so can no longer confirm or trace anything. Interpret again. Interpret again. Let's go with ingredients.
Yeah, according to Bernard, Pierre also supplied all of the goods. But if the Marchose Phantom's records are correct, Pierre should have lost all access
Yeah, where
to
did
the
he get his
materials
stuff from?
required to create the imitation synth. And the Institute has also not reported any theft of their stocks.
So it must have gotten it from somewhere else. Unless there's someone else in the Institute who's like in on it. About Bernard's letters.
Bernard claims to have received a letter last night from Pierre. In the letter, Pierre stated that he had gone into hiding.
Yeah, who delivered the
Is there
letter?
something wrong with the letter?
The delivery method. Interpret. Regardless of whether he sent it anonymously or directly secretly delivered it himself, it's no longer something we can follow up. Escape location. The letter mentioned Pierre's hiding spot, although it makes sense that Pierre wouldn't want everyone to find out, of course. The cat. Oh! Bonnie had already been on the loose for a few days when he found her yesterday morning. That means she has already broken free when the letter was written. So, it wasn't the cat who delivered it, was it? The letter's purpose? The point of the letter was to tell Bonnie to get it on his card, and why didn't he also warn him about Bonnie? Let's go with that.
If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then she was a liability that had to be recovered at all costs. But if she wasn't carrying anything, then it would have made sense to tell Bernard not to worry.
Why wasn't she mentioned?
And thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place because he came to look for Bonnie.
Yeah.
Could it be that the person who wrote the letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts? Or they had a separate goal entirely?
Maybe they tried to make someone noticed Bonnie. Maybe to try to have like the liability of Bernard to get captured. Which would still point the finger back at Pierre, but I'm not convinced this is true, but let's see. About what we found in Poisson.
The
Another one.
Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefebvre pendant at Pierre's residence. That was the beginning point of our investigation.
Yeah, were the cats there? Shivers mentioned something about a cat. Okay, let's go. The pet handoff. Were taken directly to Pierre's base rather than Poisson. Yeah, that's very sus. The end of Lefebvre. Lefebvre family is infamous in Fontaine. Even their innocent scions became targets of revenge, but Pierre just carried a pendant with him as if it's just an ordinary piece of jewelry. Associate. Pendant. Trigger association. No. Let's gonna get interpret. The pattern of the pendant is proof that his owner is a illegitimate child of the Lefebvre family, but this shouldn't be all. Let's go with Bonnie as well. Okay, the girl just disappeared. Bonnie had been with Pierre ever since the fierce first meeting between Pierre and the Marechaussee Phantom, and that's why Elodie came looking for her. But that shouldn't be all. Associate. I don't really have a choice here. Initial suspicions. Pierre became the key suspect in the case because of his suspicious cat and the suspicious pendant. To make conclusion.
Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us to follow when he took so much care to not leave any traces of imitation synth in his home? The final question is,
did someone set him
why
up?
did I sense that something wasn't right after hearing Bernard's testimony? Even more so than before.
Did he get set up? Bernard's statement. Bernard is in flooded banks method of communication that can be intercepted. Yeah, we never met Pierre. So are we sure Pierre is the guy we're actually looking for? Bernard has never met Pierre in person. Conflicting behavior. Pierre makes such a complicated operations plan, but yet also exposes himself so easily to the investigation guards. So that's does Pierre have multiple? That wouldn't have been my conclusion, but it's possible. If all this feels like the plan and the expose were run by two separate individuals, and Pierre was set up. That's associate, I guess. There's still a third person out there. Even Bernard himself never knew it was Pierre that had been pulling the strings all along. It was somewhere else. So my conclusion.
Deductive mode deactivated. I think we may be close to the actual answer.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
Contemplation. They're about to leave. Is it really okay to let them go? Okay, I got some bonuses. What are my bonuses? Oh, I see. I see. Okay, let's go. We get 11. Woo! Okay. Let's go. No, we can't let her get away. Hold it right there.
Is there something else you need from me, traveler?
Bernard and Pierre, they weren't really acting alone, were they?
Huh?
What do you mean, huh?
I see. It all makes sense now.
Hey, what are you talking about? Look, even our confessed criminal here has no idea what you're saying.
He hasn't met Pierre though, has he?
Because he has been kept in the dark all along. And I assume it's the same with Pierre.
Oh, Bernard, thought he was communicating with Pierre, and Pierre thought he was taking orders from Bernard. There was a third person all along.
That never quite added up for me. Why did Pierre feel compelled to return to his home with Bonnie and the pendant and make them so easy to find for the
Yeah, that seems
Marechaussee
like the
Phantom?
third person. Any animals Pierre received from the floating barrels should have been taken directly to his base. And considering his precarious situation, the pendant should have been the last thing Pierre would have left lying around.
Both of these things are in stark contrast to his usual meticulous and vigilant behavior. There's only one reasonable explanation. He was following orders, just like Bernard. He probably received the following instructions right before the Phantom came knocking on his door. Bring the cat and the pendant, and our undercover agent will be sure to help you.
Help you to get exposed.
Unbeknownst to him, however, the third person who wrote that letter to him had long decided to sacrifice him and Bernard to save themselves.
Honestly, this third person probably planned to sell both of them out from the very beginning, yeah.
What? You can't be serious. There was a third person involved?
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard and Pierre were working together. The case appeared extremely simple. Bernard did the trafficking, Pierre the imitation synth production, drugging, and stuffing.
Yeah, but the ingredients is still like an open hole. With everything accounted for, the third person would be then cleared of false suspicion.
Wait. But that doesn't make any sense. If that's the actual truth, then as soon as Pierre is caught,
No, you see,
you'll explain
Pierre is
his side of the
also
story
in the
and
dark.
third person will.
Yep, which is why the third person made sure that Pierre would never be found again.
Okay, yeah, that
Once they
also
had
makes sense.
instructed Pierre to expose himself, the third person wrote to Pierre again, suggesting that everything had been taken care of, and he should take Bonnie and safely return to his base.
Then they ambushed Pierre and made him disappear.
Of course, Pierre's disappearance at such a sensitive time immediately made him a prime suspect. Knowing that Bonnie had last been seen with him, all the third person would have to do from that point on would be to lead the Phantom to investigate the Humane Society and get Bernard to confess
That's
the
why
truth.
Bonnie was on the loose. Yeah, that makes sense. Bernard would then testify that Pierre was the only one who came up with the whole plot, and Pierre would be seen as having gone into hiding in anticipation of getting caught.
Wait, so you're saying that the letter I received yesterday, the one that made me think Pierre was still alive, it was also sent by the third person?
Seems like it.
Is that what happened? I'll get back to headquarters right away and reinvestigate this case from the top.
Not so fast.
Chevra said that assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. Someone among us, however, has been feeding us all kinds of preconceived notions ever since our first meeting. They suggested that Pierre's disappearance was an attempt to escape the judgment of the law, and that Pierre was a scion of the Lefebvre family. But if the disappearance is truly just a cover-up for a murder, then couldn't the true scion have been an illegitimate daughter, rather than an illegitimate son?
I knew she was sus! Gosh darn it! Miss Elli Lefebvre.
Huh?
Haven't you taken this joke a bit too
She
far?
is sus! I knew
You're
it!
right. I did let a lot of assumptions get to my head when I first started to talk to you about the case. I'll make sure to correct my behavior.
She doesn't seem to take it very seriously.
You deliberately fed us lies, but even you could not control every last detail of your plan. There was a flaw in your scheme, and something didn't quite go as planned. Getting the
Bonnie.
Marechaussee Phantom to notice Pierre was only the first part of your plan. Had they failed to take notice of the Humane Society, they could have cast a wider net.
Yeah.
And you couldn't predict what they might possibly find, if given enough time. This, of course, was the main weakness of your plan.
And once the Special Patrol and Lenny got involved, it became even harder to control the outcome of the investigation.
As someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't want to take the risk of personally proposing a raid on the Humane Society. So, you thought about pulling a few more strings, so all of the suspicion would point towards Bernard and his society.
A great option, of course, would be to also dispose of Bonnie and leave her body at Pierre's base in anticipation of a later discovery.
Once the Phantom expanded their search, it would only be a matter of time before they found Pierre's base. If a cat last seen with the suspect turned up dead at the imitation synth base, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated and turn their eyes towards the one organization that has been sending boatloads of animals out of Fontaine.
However, something unexpected happened at the bodies. Bonnie managed to escape the chaos. That would also explain why she's mentioning the letter.
It was probably during your ambush of Pierre. You didn't even have the time to check if she had already been stuffed full of imitation synth.
So they both came looking for her. Sorry, Bonnie.
Still, you soon found another opportunity. Before long, Bonnie had made her way back into the city, and even popped up on the Steambird. Like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, however, you were hoping that Pierre did have the time to make her swallow a load of imitation synth. While investigating the suspect's cat, we unexpectedly discovered that the suspect has been smuggling imitation synth using living animals as intermediaries. That was your plan, in any case. With that, you'd have been able to lead the investigation towards the Humane Society.
I like this angle where she was in the image and then she turned around and it turned out to sepia in the background. But Bonnie was very lucky. And you were very unlucky.
Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of imitation synth. That part of your plan could no longer be carried out. But as shrewd as you were, you came up with another plan right away.
Yes, that explains why she was so open with all this information as well. I was right to be suspicious
You
of her.
manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect.
You knew Lenny was investigating the case with Chevreuse, and you also knew that Lynette's previous encounter with the Lefebvre family.
You used the Lefebvre name as bait to get us to join your investigation. With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note of the strange event of Bernard somehow having a reason to look for Pierre's cat.
So, what you're saying is, I went to all that trouble just for the chance that you might put forth the suggestion that would lead you down the wrong path.
You seem like very, very, how do you say, meticulous. So, given that it is a story and everything, it is plausible.
Of course, you did far more than that. Just now at Lumidu's harbor, were you not the person who highlighted the suspicious activities of the Society?
By showing us the parts travel logs.
You even highlighted the Society's activities during your compilation of the logs, so they'd be immediately visible to anyone examining the records. Moreover, the logs contained no records of the Port Authority's activities. In other words,
I know it! This was a huge gaping hole.
And what are you trying to suggest with that?
I am insinuating that you had plenty of opportunities to transfer the raw materials for imitation synth from the harbor to a boat, and then sail over to the meeting place full of floating barrels.
Once Bernard had placed the animals in the barrels, you'd open the lids and also dump the raw materials. As long as you did it before Pierre came back for his pickup, there would be no one the wiser.
And that's how neither the trafficker nor the manufacturer knew there was a third person who supplied the raw materials.
We're really
and
cracking that
surreptitiously
case.
operated between them.
First, you got in touch with both parties and secured the raw materials. Then you instructed Bernard to prepare the floating barrels and the animals. After this, you slipped the raw materials into the barrels next to the animals and requested that Pierre pick up the barrels and bring them back to his base.
Pierre manufactured imitation synth using the raw materials you provided, stuffed the animals, and placed the animals back into the barrels. Having received the green light from you as Pierre, Bernard then retrieved his animals and shipped them out of Fontaine once he had received enough for a full batch. This is the truth behind your smuggling ring.
I can't believe it. I never put 2 and 2
I mean,
together.
it wasn't easy.
You've sure got an extremely lively imagination.
So what do you think she's going to say next?
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels?
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels, huh?
I don't know why this is so funny to me.
It appears that it's quite easy to predict what you'll think or say. Then if we apply that to this case, we can also think of a few places to look for incriminating evidence.
The harbor, the locations where the barrel went, the institute to see where the raw materials came from. Maybe they didn't come from the institute. Probably not, but
You know very well that this case will not end until Pierre is found.
yeah, that's true.
So you will have him commit suicide out of fear and shame to end the investigation for good. That way, you can also pin the blame for the overseas smuggling activities, the theft of the harbor's confiscated raw materials, and even the Lefebvre name on him. After all, dead men tell no tales.
Let's
But
go
you
find
still
him.
want it to appear as if he had sent that last letter to Bernard, so you have to make sure he cannot be found until after Bernard has confessed to the authorities.
So it's possible he's still alive.
To do that, you either will hide his body until you've found an appropriate time to set up a fake suicide scene, or you'll dump it someplace where it'll be hard to determine the exact time of death. Submerged in water.
How good
for
is like
instance.
the, what's it called? I don't know the name. Investigating dead bodies and determine how old they are. How good is that in Fontaine? Just double checking quickly. Everything going good. Okay, good. Continue.
The location would ideally allow you to keep the body hidden for some time while also letting you keep an eye on it.
You could also keep it in a very cool environment to be handled later, or set a fire to make it look like he had been burned himself to a crisp. An example of such a place might be somewhere in your own boat, or underneath the waters near Lamidu's harbor. Let's go with that one.
There are only so many options to hide a person's time of death, after all. As long as the Phantom investigates each of the possibilities in turn, they'll surely find Pierre's remains. Especially since, as the prime suspect who will now be taken into custody, you will no longer have the time to move him. or
Unless you
set up
have
a
more
fake
people
suicide
working
scene
with
to
you,
cover
I
up the
guess.
murder.
How absurd. And on what grounds will you order my arrest? Don't think for a second that your spouts of nonsense will amount to any kind of real argument. After all, I'm...
Elodie Lefebvre!
Oh, hello.
As the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, I hereby declare you as a suspect in the case. If you have any objections, you may raise them later during interrogation.
You're here too.
That's right. We received a message from Lumidu's harbor that you were going to investigate the Humane Society. We didn't expect to run into you at such a critical moment.
While at the harbor, we noticed something else extremely interesting. Apparently, you often used all kinds of
that
excuses
is
to
very
swap your
sus indeed.
shifts. And if one were to match the times of your shifts to the activities of the Humane Society and those of certain foreign ships, they'd find them to be an exact match.
That's just a coincidence.
Yes, I'm sure you have already thought of a dozen different ways to explain away the suspicious activities. But as far as evidence goes, that should be enough to warrant taking you into custody.
I don't know what the rules are in real life, but let's just roll with it. Let's pretend that's how it works.
Don't worry. If it turns out that the guards are still unable to find any evidence after all this, Lynette and I will do everything in our power to clear your name.
How gracious.
Although judging by her reaction, I
Yep.
assume no follow-up from us will be needed.
She
The
angry
Lefebvres
now.
were infamous for using disguise and infiltration to achieve their goals.
She
Who would have
learned.
thought that they would have planted someone within the guards?
Judging from the timeline, they likely arranged for you to enter the guards before the fall of the clan. But they probably didn't expect you to turn it to your advantage and use your job to save yourself during the purge.
Not only that, but you actively participated in the interrogation, arrest, and judgment of the Lefebvres during their fall. thus
Oh,
clearing
she's
yourself of
sneaky.
suspicion.
However, she was a legitimate child, as far as we know. So maybe she had some grievances because of that.
You brutally and cruelly abandoned your allies as soon as they outlived their usefulness. Just like a lizard cutting off its own tail in order to live. You've been doing this for years.
Oh no. Okay. Jervis is very convinced it's that what's happened, so let's roll with it.
So you played me like a fool after all? Ah!
Bernard is suddenly knocked unconscious by a sudden strike.
What was that word you used? Ally?
Oh,
You think that
she's showing her
someone
true
as
colors now.
foolish as him is worthy to call himself my ally?
Oh, I like when this happens. It's so satisfying.
They were worthless scum. All of them.
Yes.
Not just Bernard and Pierre, but those Lefebvres too. They always just saw me as a tool.
Oh, showing her true colors. It gives me like this Art Ace Attorney feeling if you cracked the case. This isn't as logical and... okay. Ace Attorney isn't always like super logical, but it tries to be at least. It's a very satisfying feeling. I love it. I love it.
I lost all my chances of a normal life just because I was born into their
Yeah.
lot. Not only that, but because they wanted me to become an undercover agent. They stripped me of my name, too.
Of her name.
I had to live in constant fear of them while they were alive.
Second name.
And even
Last
once they
name.
were gone, I had to continue to bury my heritage and my name. Always worrying that their enemies would come knocking at the door. Do you know anything about what I've been through over all these years? My life as the last Lefebvre?
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't easy, but like, you used animals, I put them in danger to make a buck, so fuck you.
I don't, and neither do I care.
No one asked about your past. You can save the speech for the trial.
Are you for real? Aren't you a Lefebvre victim too?
Yeah, but I'm still not mistreating cats, so...
Elodie, you're the only one still living under the shadow of a name.
Yeah, they're gone.
That's enough. Keep your hands where I can see them and do not resist arrest.
Go,
If you have
Severus,
more
tell
to
her.
say, save it for the interrogation room.
What a joke. What a joke! Hey!
Oh, it's a bomb.
Don't come any closer.
What's that?
Know what this is? I've secretly planted loads of explosives in the Humane Society. Just one step closer, and whether they're cats, dogs, or just unlucky human employees,
Yep.
they'll all be blown up into smithereens.
Oh my, they're really playing up the villain
Surely,
part.
you bunch of goody two-shoes won't let that happen, right?
Deception, assist Leslie in deceiving Elodie. Stealth, launch a sneak attack on Elodie when she's distracted. Persuasion, try to convince Elodie to surrender. Intimidation, help Severus to intimidate Elodie. Deception, sure. 15, let's go. Woo! Natural 20! It doesn't work that way. Okay, never mind.
I can understand how you feel. Like you, we are also victims of the Lefebvre clan. But if you were to endanger innocents now for your own gain, the public anger towards the Lefebvres would only rise to a boiling point. And the families of the new victims would be dead set on exacting revenge on you.
And what of it?
I'll be your hostage, Elodie.
What?
Don't do this, Lynette.
Thanks for your concern, Traveler. But we need to end all of the hate and violence arising from this clan once and for all. I'll raise my hands and come over slowly. I promise that I'm completely unarmed.
I'm watching you. Don't think for a second you can pull a fast one on me.
I'm really interested in what happens. It's like reading a good book, kinda.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Just keep your eyes on me.
Hi! As Elodie fixates her gaze on Lenny, she's struck from a blow behind. Honey?
Phew. So I was right after all. It's easier to deal with the person causing the problem than the problem itself.
What about the device she had?
This is it. Looks like it's just a toy.
So she really was just bluffing.
Guess that's probably why she suddenly flipped and knocked out Bernard. He probably knew that there were no explosives at the society.
She also pretended like she had a villainous breaker. Okay, I like that this wasn't actual story, but a trick. It makes it more believable. It was so over the top.
Well, given that she never even showed her face to Bernard and Pierre, I had my doubts that she'd have gone to the society
Yeah.
in person to plant explosives.
Thank you for your help, everyone. I'll take them back for thorough questioning and find someone better to take over the Humane Society.
Yes.
I might
Seems
need
like
a
a
few
good society
statements from
still.
everybody. Would you be able to come with me?
Sure.
If statements are all you need, can Lenny provide them on my behalf?
I don't think you can get out of this.
I still need to go back and explain some things to the crew. I also had an appointment with the Traveler.
Oh yeah,
before
it's
we got
Martini.
interrupted.
You mean when you said I wanted contemplation? What did you say again? Sure, let's go. No, check fails. Rip.
A lot has happened since then. I'm referring to when I invited you over for some tea and also to spend some time with Bonnie.
Sure,
Once I'm done
don't
talking
be
with the
mad.
troop, I'll take Bonnie home and make a nice cup of tea. You'll be able to find us outside of my door.
Sure, let's go. Meow. Well, that was successful.
You can leave the rest of this to me. The other guards will be joining me shortly. Don't worry, they won't have another chance to escape.
How did Elli get her hands on the raw materials?
The materials have many other regular uses outside of being used to make imitation synth, so they're not immediately subject to being confiscated or destroyed.
Okay, so if they're not being confiscated, they return to the ship they came from?
The harbor would usually just seize them for some time while the customs paperwork is filled out and approved. If approved, they'd be let through, and if not, they'd be returned to sender. Elodie probably used her position to replace a portion of the shipment with something else before sending the whole shipment back to sender.
Okay, that makes sense.
Given that the foreign merchants who sent in the shipments were probably working with her in the first place, they likely
Yeah.
just never reported the difference in what they sent and what they received. We will, of course, continue to investigate the rest of the details of this case. Now that we've caught Elodie, figuring out the whole scheme should just be a matter of time.
Gonna talk to Lenny. Lenny, what's up?
You must have spent a record-breaking amount of time in serious mode today. I can't remember the last time I've seen you like this. Is it because of a special someone?
How did Pierre get recruited into this scheme?
Based on information that we found before,
Oh yeah, he used to
imitation
be an
synth was
addict.
first circulated on
Is
a
that
small
true
scale
info?
in Fontaine before becoming a large-scale smuggling scheme. I'd assume that the first offerings of imitation synth came from what Pierre made in his early
Oh yeah,
days.
that's true.
But since he was not experienced with running a clandestine operation, he was soon discovered by guard Elodie.
That makes sense.
Elodie saw the opportunity to make a great profit in his work, and perhaps even the chance of making a new life for herself, so she decided to cover his tracks. She started writing to him in Bernard's name, using what evidence she had compiled and the promise of enormous profits to blackmail him into cooperating with her. Unfortunately for her, she ran into Lynette.
Yes.
Even though my sister doesn't like to focus too much on a regular day, serious mode Lynette is one of the most perceptive people I've ever known.
I love how he can switch modes. It's very, very relatable to me.
Still, all of that thinking really saps her energy. I need to go give some statements on her behalf, so I'll leave the recharging to you.
Sure, let's go recharge Lynette. Just wanted to know what they had to say. What an interesting hangout quest. It was very long, but like there's... If you have this, there should be 3 other endings. Hopefully they won't all be that long. I'm not sure if we're gonna have to finish them on another day. But I think we're just about to be done with this one. So... Oops. Why are we so far away? I should have ported, honestly. Fortification. Lynette, what's up? Can we have some tea?
Black tea and a cute kitty. Truly the best combo for standby mode. Want some?
A cup of tea, please. A cup of tea, please.
I hope you'll like it.
Are you not interested in any follow-up developments from it?
Not at all. Information is indeed very important. But if you were to try to collect every piece of information you come across, your efficiency would actually decrease.
Since it's already solved, there's no point in like getting obsessed with the details. Unless it's connected with something else, possibly. So I think it would still be good to keep track of him.
Plus, if you just think about it, what sounds more fun? Writing a statement or enjoying a tea party?
The cute kitty!
Great answer. That'd be my pick too. Had we not run
I
into that
thought
case,
that answer was wrong.
we could have spent
like,
the entire day like this. But now I'm running low on both time and energy.
the key isn't how long you spend in standby mode. With quality time, you should be able to recharge more quickly. Kinda.
You're right. I can sense it. I'm recharging very quickly at the moment.
When did you start to suspect Elodie?
Something about her rubbed me the wrong way since the very beginning. But to be more precise, it was probably around the time when I saw Bonnie try to get away from her.
Back then, Elodie tried to get close to Bonnie.
Elodie
Yes,
tried to get close, but Bonnie deliberately dodged her. Maybe Bonnie had tried to evade her before at Pierre's base. Or perhaps Bonnie just instinctively knew that she wasn't a good person.
Animals' instincts, very helpful.
Not everyone who likes cats is a good person. But if cats like you, you're probably alright.
Fair enough.
Humans tend to overthink things, but cats rely on their
I was
instincts.
sort of like cat update,
And they're
wasn't
pretty
it?
sharp. I mean, just look at Bonnie. She took a liking to you the moment you met.
Cutie. Oh, what a cute picture. Okay, let's see. Channels meeting, where does it branch off? Okay, so we get these two. That's good. Let's claim the rewards. Oh, it's her specialty. Oh, it's so cute. Requisite quest not yet complete. What does it mean? Okay, a decision. Okay, here we have the other two endings. Okay, let's go there then. Continue playing. How long have been streaming? 2 hours already. Gosh darn. Well, for a while I was also doing the others, I guess. Just double check. YouTube's still working. Yes. Go back to the game. Let's do the decision. I want to see what happens when we go back, so let's try this.
Huh. I didn't like that.
Yeah. Can't fall to the floor.
Clearly, there's some design flaws. Let's see. 4. Well, if you want to get the right... So, to put it another way, if pick... Or...
You should leave her
Why
razzle
don't
dazzling
you
to
pick a card?
Lynette.
Thank you. Here, take the Fatometer. If it's also... If you have...
I think we should head back to the drinks reception.
Back to the drinks reception.
I mean, clearly you don't want to go. You could just...
Nope. I said it was your decision. I'm not gonna waste any more energy dragging my feet.
Okay, let's go.
Besides, the drinks reception is technically part of the job as an official publicity event. So, if I bail on it,
You'll feel guilty inside.
I might get sued for breach of contract, and that would be a huge pain in the butt. One other thing. Do you want to come with me?
Sure.
If you're free, I mean.
Then you'll have at least one friend there.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Let's go. Where are we going? Yeah, okay, we can walk. Let's see. Hotel.
There you are, Lynette! Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you. Wait, where did you get the cat?
Sorry about that.
I found her outside. Do either of you happen to recognize her?
I don't think so. Could belong to one of the guests, I suppose.
Fair enough. It was a long shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being
They
forgetful.
look like identical.
Maybe.
maybe you could
Are they
leave her
twins?
back. We'll take her to the reception desk.
The
and
voices
see if
are
they
very
know
different
anything. And if not, we'll just keep looking.
I'll go with sisters for now.
Sure. I would help, but I'm a little preoccupied. Sorry to dump this on you.
It's no trouble at all. We're happy to help however we can.
Also,
She sounds a
if
bit like
it's no trouble,
Nahida.
I mean, could we maybe get an autograph? And maybe a photo too?
She sounds a lot like Nahida.
Leone, you can't spring that on her now. Not while she's working. At least wait until the event's finished. One last thing, Lynette. Director Mary is looking for you. We'll take the cat to the front desk now. See you later.
You're so popular.
I'm not usually required at these kinds of events, so I don't even have an event mode.
Oh.
Alright, guess I'd better go see the director.
Social mode activated.
Spectacular choreography, a masterpiece of mise
He really talks like
and the
this.
performance. Oh my, groundbreaking, dripping.
He even has a monocle.
Je ne sais quoi. My congratulations on another magnificent
Je ne sais
show.
quoi.
Yes, I for one was particularly captivated by the clearly allegorical narrative undertones. The lost puppet shines a spotlight on the impact of technological advances in our modern society, particularly as they relate to changing modes of emotional expression and the challenge of mutual intelligibility.
Oh, so it is related to Lynette after all.
Such a pioneering work, so far ahead of its time. A tour de force of avant-garde theater.
I love the French expressions mixed in there.
I can already
Maloney.
see the headlines of tomorrow's newspapers. They will certainly be singing your praise, Director Mariyu.
But it was a group effort.
Okay,
of
he doesn't
course.
have a monocle.
To convey emotions in a silent show with no facial expressions, the entire cast had to go above and beyond. Everyone truly outdid themselves.
He has beautiful eyes, though.
Speaking of the cast, Jillian, another strong performance from you in Director Mariyu's latest show, as of course we've all come to expect from your numerous successful collaborations to date.
Good job, Jillian.
That's quite an overstatement. I've only ever played supporting roles.
On that point, you stated a few months ago in an interview that you were looking to secure a leading role in your next show.
No one
What
talk
led you
about
to the
Lynette
decision to stay in a
after
supporting
all.
role this time around?
We had a discussion about this, and while Lynette hadn't previously performed in an acting role, we were blown away by her talent, and she was a perfect fit for this character.
There's actually a word for this, like, switching your mode. I'm not sure if it is like 100% describing what Lynette means, but that you have like different types of mannerism, the way your voice sounds, facial expressions, body language. It's called code switching. And it happens like if someone's gay and with their gay friends, they have maybe a little bit higher voice, more variation in the voice, so it might feel feminine and stuff. But when they're like in their workplace, they have like a deeper, more masculine, constant voice that doesn't really have a lot of changes in tones in it and stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting. You have like different way of acting and expressing yourself. Usually unconsciously, depending on what situation you're in.
Quite simply, this was the role she was born to play.
Whoa, okay, that's a hell of a statement.
Exactly. I was honored to share the stage with her.
So we're
Lynette
talking
worked
about
extremely
Lynette after
hard in
all.
all of the rehearsals, and she's an incredibly talented actress.
Hi, enter Lynette.
Oh, Lynette's back!
Hey, Lynette, where have you been?
Are you in standby mode? Some reports say you switched that state to recharge
Oh,
after a show.
I wouldn't like if stuff like that would be public about me.
Ah, method acting, of course. Such a compelling portrayal of a mechanical puppet could only be achieved by an actor who lives and breathes their role even
Oh
while-
no, I would really hate to be
Those
Lynette in this
seemingly
case.
stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of the character. The ostensibly bad acting, in reality, was the product of supreme acting skill.
The bad acting.
Oh, I went outside and there was this cat there, so I played with the cat for a bit.
Oh my god.
A cat? We've long heard that you are a kind soul, as well as an incredible actress. No wonder your debut performance has garnered
Everyone is so
such
taken
popularity.
in with her.
This show looks on track to break box office records for avant-garde theater. Lynette, any words for the fans?
Not really, no.
I believe Lynette is trying to say that the act of performance itself
Oh
is
no,
the
putting
actor's
words into her
true
mouth,
means of
are
connecting
we?
with their fans.
Oh, I see. Lynette, any comment?
Right, exactly.
But don't you want the fans to know how you're feeling right now, after the hugely successful opening of your first ever show?
That's true.
I'm sure the fans would love to learn a bit more about you too.
How interesting.
Inside, observe Lynette, see how she's doing. Let's draw a card. 10, okay. Okay, we'll win. We'll win for once. Lynette's voice was so deadpan during the interview. She sounds like an auto-reply, but hold on. Lynette has only just finished performing. She needs to recharge.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry. How rude of me.
Huh? Wait, you're the traveler.
Oh
who's been in
no,
the
I don't
news.
want to be the center of
Did you come
attention.
to see the show?
Wow, are you a fan of Lynette too?
Uh-huh,
Do you have any
sure.
comments on her first performance?
She did admirably. You and Lynette struggle to keep up as your box inundated with questions. Are you alright?
Yeah, it's just... Turns out, even with you here to share the load, I can't cope with this stuff, even in Tea Party mode.
And she made some up for that Tea Party mode?
It's a power-saving mode for participating in conversation at tea parties. Normally, I can get through an entire conversation just with, Oh, that's true. And how interesting.
I need to adopt this.
But at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions.
Yeah, she sounds very different as well, her
The
voice.
energy consumption of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party.
It's a big adjustment. Give it some time.
I think I'd rather pray that I never have to do it again.
Yes.
Lynette, Director Mariu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate the
Sure.
successful opening of the show.
Let's take a pic.
A group photo?
It's just the members of the troupe, along with Maloney and Corentin. Everyone's waiting for you.
Alright then. See you in a minute.
She's really tired.
3, 2, 1, smile.
My thanks to each and every one of you here for your help in making The Lost Puppet a success. The group photo is already being printed as I speak.
Did she fall
You can
asleep?
collect your copy from the first floor after the drinks reception concludes. May it serve as a reminder
Oh, no.
of this fabulous
I hope she looks
performance
good in the
every
picture.
time you see it.
Mariu! Get over here. Let's have another drink. There's a few things I need you to glance over for me.
Oh wait, that means the reception still isn't over? That's
I
time
thought
to...
the group photo was the final hurdle. Well, at least there's no more people hounding me with questions. I just need to find somewhere to switch to standby mode, and the time will fly by.
Let's see. It's not over yet. To the second floor? Sure. Oh, hello!
Hotel de Bour's Ile Flottante is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
Farina? You managed to get an invite for the drinks reception too?
Traveler? Lynette? Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, managed to get an invite? I'm an expert in the dramatic arts. Of course I was invited.
A little bit of old Farina coming back.
Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments on the emerging art form that is the masked mime show.
So then, what did you think?
Remarkable, and a very worthwhile artistic endeavor. Exploring a character with no lines or facial expressions who can only communicate how they feel through their movement. Your performance was beyond anything I could have imagined, Lynette. Clearly, this was a very suitable role for you indeed.
You seem to hear a sound. Listen closely. You can hear sounds coming from the back corner.
Is something wrong? No, it's nothing. Please go on.
Oh, basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall. Just not as gushing as the crowd downstairs.
Yeah.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some vocal supporters for publicity when a new show opens. But still, this was something else. Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde theater. Maybe I'm just not well acquainted with their review criteria.
That's some how do you say? There's a bit of new for Rena coming on, like being less over the top, so sure of herself, being a bit allowing herself to be wrong, kind of thing. Really like that. Really like that.
Maybe it's because I came to the show with some preconceived expectations. I did happen to see the original draft of Mariu's script a while back.
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. He came to me to get some advice from an experienced performer's perspective, and then asked if I could write a few reviews of his new play.
Something's gonna happen.
I had a lot on my plate at the time, so I had to turn him down. I only skimmed a few sections, but they seemed quite different from the final version.
The script to
I
better
can't
fit
say I
Lynette?
remember the plot, but I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess, especially in the last two scenes. Still a mechanical puppet on the outside, of course, but she seemed to have more emotional depth on the inside.
Lynette really outdid her this time.
Emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are two very different beasts. There are so many fine details to consider when turning a story into a stage production. More than most people could imagine, especially with a novel art form like a masked mime show.
They're all really impressed by Lynette.
Mariu had his reasons for the changes he made.
Yeah, he adapted it to better fit Lynette's style, I guess.
Change of topic. I see you've escaped the crowds to seek refuge on the second floor.
Lynette's Farida bonding wasn't something I expected from this.
Perhaps you'd benefit from hearing about the experiences of a veteran celebrity such as myself.
It's not something I expected, but dang, I'm loving it.
No thanks, I'm good. Pretty sure this will be my first and last time.
Yeah, she's like, no, done with this, done with this.
Hey, at least let me finish. I have top tips on dealing with belligerent reporters, slipping away to hunt down snacks during intermission.
Oh, yes.
Tell me everything.
Oh, I love them.
First, take a seat, mon ami. We must partake of Hotel de Boer's fine desserts as we
Let's
talk.
go. I'm getting
Lest we
hungry.
go to waste.
I'm getting hungry. Oh no. What time is it? Ooh. Should eat some soup after. Three of you enjoyed delectable treats.
That was very educational.
And very tasty. Educational isn't the word I used. They didn't mention acting once in the whole conversation.
I expect most of the people downstairs have left by now. Time to grab my copy of the group photo and get home.
Okay, it's still going. Let's go.
The photo must be in this envelope. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have standby moded my way through the last few hours.
I'm glad I could help you. Any normal person would find an event like this stressful, but enough to warrant having Lynette leaving halfway through. When you left the event midway, what was the real reason? I mean, if you don't really want to talk about it, it's fine.
It's fine. It's just... It was such a minor thing. While I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me. It was only for an instant, and I didn't even see who it was. But somehow, I knew it was a look of contempt. I got a vague sense of it again during the reception. Like someone was giving me an evil stare. But I couldn't figure out who it was. Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people.
Yeah.
So, it was strange. Feeling like I was the one being spied on this time.
Maybe someone's jealous of you? You did land the leading role in your first show.
Or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason. Sometimes you can like one person and dislike another for equally pointless reasons. Anyway, it was just a momentary stink eye, that's all. Nothing for you to worry about.
Well, if you're not worried, I'm not worried.
Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna take this envelope and go home now.
You heartless puppet, you've ruined this works. Hand over the role of lead actress immediately. Holy. What? That's a threat ledger.
You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once.
Okay, I didn't expect this turn.
I'd say threat letter is right.
I need to get to the bottom of it. I've examined the ledger and see if there's anything amiss. Unsealed envelope contains a group photo, the thread letter, and some photographs Lynette during the show. It was definitely meant for her. The letter demands that Lynette step down from the leading role, but stops short of saying what will happen if she doesn't. Neither of us recognize the handwriting. It's messy, perhaps to cover up the tracks, or maybe this person just has messy handwriting. Think back to what was happening on the first floor where we're taking some time out. A lot of people downstairs at the time. One of them could have slipped the ledger into the envelope. All of the envelopes were left on the table on the first floor, but nobody was tasked by watching them. Could ask reception, but it's unlikely they saw anything.
I don't think we're gonna find any more clues here.
Shall we ask Mario what he makes of you have destroyed his work of art?
Yes, let's. Whatever destroyed means, it could have something to do with the original script that Farina mentioned. Also, I'm gonna have to ask you to stick around.
My suspicion currently is on the other actress, but let's figure it out. Let's follow the story, dude.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out.
I like the thing they're
Even
doing
the
with it.
avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
How could I ever have doubted you? If you hadn't stuck to your guns and kept sending those invitations, this opportunity would have passed us by.
See? I told you. All the times she'd refused in the past were all the more reason to keep inviting her, because it turns into a big talking point. Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? You'd have been lucky to get half the ticket sales you've ended up with.
Oh yeah, this Jillian's gonna be jealous.
True. Well, Jillian still needs to get a few more productions under
Okay, they're not talking like straight up bad about her, but
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
Didn't expect that one.
It isn't the star of the show. We were just talking about you.
Something has come up,
And
dude.
is that the legendary traveler with you?
Something has come up. Something has come up.
I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director? Oh, you're a talented and hardworking actress,
Stop.
Lynette.
I want to continue.
I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. Mario, make sure you give your star performer and her friend your full attention.
I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troupe on her shoulders.
Who was that?
Mr. Maloney. An investor or something, I think. I've never asked him.
So, what can I do for the two of you? I'm afraid I'll have to dash soon as I'm meeting some friends from the newspaper. Otherwise, I'd love to stay longer.
We won't take too much of your time.
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from the final show. I'm kind of curious to know what the protagonist was like in that version.
Oh, well, this is a surprise. I didn't think you'd be interested in
We did
that
some
sort of
digging
thing.
with Footy.
It's not uncommon for scripts to undergo major changes as they're being brought to the stage. But I'm afraid there's not much to tell you in this case. The protagonist has stayed the same from beginning to end. A mechanical puppet with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. A stranger in time who doesn't belong.
Stranger in time.
There's no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you. The success of one is the success of the other, and that's what made this show an artistic triumph.
He's not telling us everything, is he?
Sorry, you've lost me. Can you put it in plain words?
All right then. Delving deep in the search of core truths is the job of an artist, after all. You shouldn't give your attention to early drafts of the script, Lynette. All it would do
he's hiding something. He's hiding something.
Where you already have clarity. The current script is the final version because it is the best version. And your performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, I doubt any audience would give our show the time of day.
And how are you gonna explain this letter?
What letter? Oh my goodness!
He appears surprised. Thanks for the perception check. His surprise seems genuine.
Destroyed this work of art? Really?
Well, Director Mariyu, any idea who might have written it?
I'm distracted by the food here.
No. Who on earth would write such nonsense?
Could it be someone involved in the production?
Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would be over. Everyone's hard work would go to waste. No, there's no way that this is someone from the troupe.
Well, if there's any way that it could lie, allow one to do this blows over.
Yeah, maybe Jillian could fill in for me for a while.
What? No way, out of the question. The protagonist has to be played by Lynette. Jillian can't... She's just not what the audience is looking for.
Mary's attitude has changed and it becomes a bit strange. His eyes are darting around, he's lowering his voice. Is he scared of Jillian?
I've got it. It's a competitor.
Is he covering for Jillian?
Yes, this letter must be from a competitor of ours who's trying to get under Lynette's skin.
No, you're hiding.
You can't lie low. That's just what they want you to do. The moment you step back from performing, they'll put their rumor mill into overdrive and drag us through the mud. They're just waiting for their chance to kick us while we're down.
A competitor? Really?
Definitely. Those lowlifes. Slander and libel are all their specialties. They drown out the truth with a flood of misinformation, and they stop at nothing once they get riled up.
You sound very familiar with their methods.
There's so many of them out there. Fame always seems to attract haters, no matter what you do to try and keep everyone happy. But don't worry, I will get to the bottom of this.
Somehow I don't fully trust
Stay
you, but
strong,
okay.
Lynette, and keep up the good work on stage. I have to go and meet my friends from the newspapers now, but rest assured, I'll be discussing countermeasures with them.
Good, meet up with Charlotte or someone.
So, a competitor, huh?
Do you think that's it?
I kinda doubt it.
Yeah.
We've dealt with those types before. Usually their goal is to steal our venue for their own show, or to cover up a scandal by planting a story to divert public attention.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I don't think anyone's got a reason to do any of that stuff. Let alone pull a stunt like this. A threat letter is quite extreme.
I'm suspecting Jillian here.
Besides, when I felt that evil stare, I'm pretty sure it was coming from somewhere backstage. So that rules out a lot of people.
Why would a competitor be backstage exactly?
I'm actually more concerned about Mariyu. When I mentioned Jillian, his reaction was pretty unusual.
So you noticed that too?
Especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead. Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her.
Do you know where she lives?
Yep. She told me she lives in the Fleuve Sandra.
Oh. Maybe. This isn't about me. I'm not talking to you guys. Not now. Maybe I can get some materials or something. Let's go Fleuve Sandra this mystery out.
Lynette? What are you doing? You're not welcome here.
I've been to the Fleuve Sandra plenty of times before. This is the first I'm hearing about me not being welcome.
Things are different around here. You might be used to a crowd of bootlicking morons fawning over you wherever you go, but not down here. We know what you are.
Bootlicking morons?
She's got a bone to pick with you, I guess.
I don't know. I've never met this kid before.
Maybe she's Tyrian's sister.
Gina, stop that! Go home now!
Jillian!
No buts. How many times do I have to tell you? That had nothing to do with Lynette.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Jillian. Maybe it was her
If you
sister.
don't leave right now, I swear I'll never invite you to one of my shows ever again.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Jillian! Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
She storms off.
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
It's okay. I have younger siblings too, so I
yeah.
get it. She's in her rebellious phase, huh? If you let angsty kids get you riled up, they'll drain all your energy. So don't worry. I won't let it get to me.
Well, this situation's a little different in this case, but still, thank you. So, what brings you to the Fleuve Sandra?
Can we talk about the original protagonist?
We heard about it from Maloney. He said you were originally supposed to play the lead.
Maloney, huh? Of course he couldn't keep his mouth shut. I'm sorry. I never mentioned it because Director Mariu was very clear that I mustn't let any of it affect you.
Circumstances have changed.
What's this?
She seems surprised. Like, genuinely surprised.
Who would do something like this?
Don't be scared, Jillian. Just tell us what you know.
I think we just failed the perception check right there.
Okay, I'll try. It's true. I was originally cast as the lead in The Lost Puppet. I've worked with director Mariu many times before, but only in minor roles. The audiences and critics never had much to say about me. Nothing terrible, but nothing
I'm
amazing
sure you
either.
can get it better over time as well.
A few months ago, Mariu started working on a new show, so I plucked up the courage to ask him if I could take the leading role. He was hesitant, but he agreed to let me try for the part. We did a few rehearsals, everything seemed to be going okay, but then...
Oh,
There's
cutscene.
been a change of plan, Jillian. The leading role will now be played
Yeah, I'm
by
suspecting her
Lynette.
sister.
Lynette? But she always turns these things down, doesn't she?
And that's why we cannot afford to waste this opportunity. Jillian, I understand how you must be feeling. But Maloney and myself have to do what's best for the production as a whole. Next time, the lead will be yours. I promise.
That seems like something.
I was incredibly disappointed at first, but I also know full well that I don't have Lynette's star power. Without Lynette, how could we ever convince people to pay money to go and see a masked mime show?
Yeah, if it's something new, you have to have something.
And if the show was a flop with me in the leading role, how would I answer to the director and the rest of the cast?
I hope you get it great role in the
Then
future.
I got to meet you on stage and found that you're really down to earth, in a way that not many celebrities are.
Oh.
You were kind to everyone, and your performance wasn't bad. Whatever disappointment I had left at that point, I certainly wasn't about to take it out on you.
It doesn't seem like it.
It wasn't bad. You mean it wasn't great either. So, I'm guessing Mariu changed the script to simplify the protagonist, make her a dumbed-down version of the mechanical puppet that I could actually play.
Oh, that's kind of sad, yeah.
He did make some changes to the script, yes.
How do we get our hands on the original draft? Who currently has it?
Jaik, one of the other actors. He likes to collect Dr. Mariu's old drafts because he hopes to be a director himself one day. He also lives nearby. I can arrange for you to meet him at the tavern.
Sure, let's go meet up.
I always see him talking to Mariu. Alright, see you at the tavern then.
What was her sister's name again? Chilla, I think. Yeah, suspecting her is currently.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jillian brought me up to speed on the situation. I'm here to help however I can. Here, this is the script you're after.
It's very rough. Looks like he's constantly editing it.
That's always the way with pen and paper drafts. Even the final script is full of last-minute changes by the director. There should be a cleaner copy of the original script in here somewhere. Sorry, it's all a bit mixed up. I just grabbed the whole stack of paper since I was in a rush.
No problem. Now activating search mode. I'll go through
search
one
mode
page at a time.
Oh, we've done that now. Sid. Investigation notes. Investigation looks for mentions of Maria. 15, that's high. Let's see, 3. Epic fail. Okay, original script. I hope we found something, Maria. Read carefully. 12, okay, that's still pretty high. 16, yes. Search mode. Search mode adds +5. Act 4 seems to be a solo performance by the protagonist, inside is just some of the script reads. There's a note saying this will focus on the audience's attention on the solo performance. Investigate official script. Read carefully. 12 again. Let's see. Okay, that's good. It's kind of hard to read the actual number, so I'm glad they have the little in the bracket parentheses. Loses the ability to dance due to wear and tear in her circuitry. There's a note saying some cursory movements to get the point across with the face. The audience focus will be on the fancy set and the extras. Okay, they really did dumb down the protagonist. Let's sit here. Let's see, investigate manuscript. Letter with amendments, practical, illegible, read carefully. 12 again. 3, that's low. Rip. We can only do it once. No, we can't read this at all. Older works, some photographs of the life of the performance are attached. Skim through. 15. Oh, that's high. Let's see. 10. Oh, we just about pass. Success. Oh, barely. Show fancy venues and polish set, but the early photos show much humbler venues. Yeah, that makes sense. Maria has collaborated with many famous celebrities. Are disputed. Malone is listed as an investor. Okay, we have confirmed that.
The protagonist returns to the ruins where she began and performs a dance in honor of her deceased companions.
Yeah, that was the original
She dances
script.
until her joints have rusted stiff and mechanical parts are falling from her body. Yep. That's not something a novice could hope to pull off after just a few months of rehearsals.
Basic plot is the same. She loses the ability to dance through wear and tear in her circuitry, but there's much more emotion behind the scene. The memory of her former companions coming to peace with her life. The simple set and solo performance means that the lead actress has to carry the whole scene herself. It's much more demanding role than the final script.
Frankly, I think that the original script is much better, and the original lead is the best fit. Jillian, shall I go tell Mariu to put you back in the leading role?
What? Are you serious? But the next show is at the Opera Epiclese. It's such a huge opportunity.
Yeah, but then it doesn't really want it.
Not such a rare one for me, though, right?
That's different. This isn't you as part of a magic duo. It's a chance to star as the main character in a show. You'll reach whole new heights of fame.
Fame in small doses has its perks, but too much and I'll get overloaded. But if you play the lead, the fame will be yours, and I get to be free. Sounds like a win-win, don't you think?
It'll never work. There's no way Director Mariu or Maloney would ever agree to it.
I mean, if Lynette says she's out, she's
The
out.
set for Act 4 would need to change, as would all the marketing materials. And that would mean asking Maloney for a lot more Mora. Changing actors at the last minute is just too risky. If anything went wrong, it could bankrupt the whole troupe. Plus, Maloney's friends have already published a ton of articles saying how this is the role that Lynette was born to play. No one else can play the protagonist now. If Lynette quit the show and I took her place...
None of the future articles would have any credibility.
If Lynette left, they'd sooner stop the whole show than let me take her place.
Stop the whole show? But all the people in the troupe, months and months of everyone's hard work would all be for nothing.
Convincing him to replace the lead actress won't be easy. Contemplation. Is there any other way? Well, they don't know who plays the character. Exactly, do they? RIP. Oh no, we get bonus 12. Still not good enough. Mario will never back down while he's got Melanie breathing down his neck. It's no good. Mario will never consent to it.
Consent, huh? Then how about we don't ask him?
Wait, surely you don't mean... Lynette explains her. Yeah, that's just swapping out actors.
He'll be forced to make a choice.
You know, it's a little crazy, but it might actually work.
Yeah, you can only see the silhouette.
No way! It's not worth taking such a huge risk just for a chance to be in the spotlight.
Jillian, you said before, whatever disappointment I had left, I wasn't about to take out on you. In other words, that disappointment is still there, but you've kept it bottled up inside.
Not healthy, by the way, if it's too much.
Be honest. You still hope to play the leading role, don't you?
But the thought of putting so many people out just for my sake?
You think they'd be put out? That's not how I see it.
Jillian, you were more dedicated than anyone during the rehearsals for the original script. We all saw how hard you worked for this role. And I think you know that unless we decide to make a stand here, the path we're on is only going to take us further and further from our dreams, all of us. So
they're
take
really
it from
convincing her,
you would
aren't
not
they?
be putting us out. Not one bit.
It's up to you.
You guys... Okay. Let's do it. I will play my part.
Yes! I knew you'd come around. All right.
Yeah, they're just swapping
I'll
out
let
the
rest of
actors,
troupe
that's
know,
my
and
guess.
We'll start preparing immediately.
Wonderful. This solves everything.
Wait, but what about the threat letter? Do you have any idea who sent it?
As long as we stick to the plan, I'll give up the lead role, so it won't matter anymore, right?
But surely you want to know who it's from. If they're out there and no one's keeping an eye on them, what if they come looking for you?
I think Lynette can handle her own.
I doubt they will. It's supposed to be a threat, but they didn't even say what would happen if I don't meet their demands. Plus, the handwriting is kinda childish.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a professional.
Show her the letter.
Who knows?
No, she
Maybe
already
it was
saw
just a
it.
fan of yours
Never mind.
having a moment.
A fan? Of me?
Maybe there's someone out there who really appreciates your talent. Even in the supporting
It's so
roles.
obvious. But let's go through with this. Contemplation. Could the letter be from one of Jillian's fan? We pass this, please. Or no, crap. Don't think there's any solid evidence.
It's getting late. We should be leaving.
Huh? So suddenly?
Come on.
Time for standby mode. Seem to hear a sound. Faint sobbing in the corner as you leave the tavern.
I'm such an idiot.
Yeah, that's her sister, isn't it? Gina, was it?
Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away from figuring out who sent the letter, so I had to act fast.
Actually, I had no idea.
It was Gina.
Yeah.
Jillian's sister.
Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't
Yeah,
mean you're all
it was so obvious, come on.
I'm so sorry. Gina's...
But it hasn't released the official review of The Lost Puzzle yet, which means Gina disobeys her sister and secretly came to watch her at work.
I guess she must have snuck into the drinks reception and overheard our conversation with Farina. She idolizes Jillian, both as an older sister and an actress. And she watched as the dream role Jillian had been waiting to play for so long got snatched away from her by some amateur who's never acted before. To make matters worse, all the critics were hailing this amateur as a perfect fit for the role. And even Fontaine's former biggest star was praising her abilities.
And was too much for her to take.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
Are you gonna comfort her about it?
Like I said, getting angry at angsty teenagers is draining. Besides, if it was my younger brother or sister and they found out I'd been treated unfairly or had an opportunity stolen from me, they'd definitely do something far worse.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I was in Jillian's position once. Back when Linny and I were starting out, before we got famous, we just had to take things a day at a time. Doing our shows, slowly trying to build up our reputation. So I can understand Gina's frustration. Still, she could definitely use some pro tips on how to write a threat letter.
No wonder she's so hostile towards you. She must have been the one giving you the evil stare, right?
No, the way she looks at me is indignant, frustrated, but not malicious. Plus, she didn't even try to hide how she felt. Whoever was giving me that evil stare was backstage. Blending into the crowd at a drinks reception is one thing, but trying to blend in backstage, where everyone's on high alert waiting to be called on stage, would be a lot more difficult. We'll find out who it is before too long. In 2 days' time, at the next show, I think it will become very clear.
Okay, let's see.
Guess I'll see you at the Opera House. Bye for now.
Bye! We'll have the time skip. Day after tomorrow. I hope that's far enough. Pork noise. Let's go to the opera. Come on now. Oh yeah, the fountain is also gonna upgrade tomorrow. Oh, like in 2 days, I guess. Let's go. Well.
Oh, you're here. Lynette and Jillian are busy getting ready, so please come with me.
Sure. Show begins. Can we see the show? Act 1 in the ruins.
That puppet in the middle. Is that Lynette? She's so pretty.
It's starting. Keep your voice down.
Dancer has been abandoned in some ruins. Affected her ability to dance. Distract her. An illness is just a mechanical breakdown. She's just a dancing puppet.
Wow. I thought it would be hard to follow, but in the end it was actually very clear.
Even though her face was expressionless and she didn't speak the whole time, I felt like I could really understand how the protagonist was feeling.
The journey. We don't actually get to see it. It's sad. Some mechanical puppets believe in a myth. At the end of the world, there's a good god of puppets who can turn puppets into human beings, and so the protagonist and their companion begin their quest. But the myth is a lie spread by someone with nothing but contempt for puppet kind. At the end of their journey, they are kidnapped, dismantled, and melted down and abused. Ew. The protagonist helps her companions escape, but in the process became trapped under the rubble of a crumbling building. She closes her eyes and enters into a deep sleep.
Director Mariu really is a master of his craft. And so is the actress in the lead role.
I have a friend who saw the show on the opening day. They thought the critics overstated how good it was, but I gotta say, the protagonist is incredible.
Act 2 closes to Thunder's
I can't believe it's only been a few days since the last show. Lynette's improved so much. Just
yeah,
wow.
they switched out the actresses.
I'm speechless. Words simply cannot do justice to the sheer excellence we witnessed from Lynette on stage today.
Your penchant for the hyperbolic strikes again, Almery. Clearly you weren't at a loss for words when you were writing your article. I saw you hand it to the journalist. Trying to get your critique into the papers the moment the show is over, are you?
Well, you know how it is. The early critics get all the readers. Wouldn't you agree, Mariyu?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? The first half was a huge success. Even I could tell the acting was top tier.
My apologies, Mr. Maloney. Please excuse me for a second. I need to have a little talk with my actors.
Oh, very well. Hey, while you're at it, this might be a good time to talk future collaborations with Lynette.
About that.
Are you guys sure this is gonna work? What if Director Mariyu pushes back? We're already halfway there. We can't back out now. All we need to do is stick to the plan.
What is this plan that you're so intent on hiding from me?
Oops.
Director Mariyu, I thought you were talking to Maloney and the critics.
Korantan and Armory have both finished their articles. I went to greet them as a mere formality, but you seem to have availed yourselves of my absence during the first half to defy me. What have you done? Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
Well done, directors. So right through it.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Director Mariyu, I was the one playing the lead role just now.
I switched costumes and masks with Jillian so that I could be the protagonist's companion and stay out of the limelight.
Lynette, why on earth would you do this?
You know my acting is amateur. The only reason I'm being seen as a pro, let alone a pioneer, is because you have critics supporting the show.
But right now there's a whole audience out there, and you have no hope of paying them all off.
If they'd seen me in the leading role during the first half, they wouldn't be expecting anything more. But what happens now that they've seen Jillian in the role? If you force me to play the lead in the second half, they'll be wondering, why is the actress suddenly giving such an underwhelming performance right at the climax of the whole story?
Were the critics wrong?
These are just some of the questions that will be on everyone's minds during the second half. And those questions will follow them out the doors of the theater after the show ends.
Do you think the critics will still have any credibility then?
There's only one way for you to save your reputation. And that's to keep Jillian as the lead all the way to the end.
Absolutely not. I'd sooner announce that we're having technical difficulties and need to stop the show.
Well,
if I keep Jillian as the lead for the second half, what do you think will happen in the curtain call when she takes her mask off? Everyone will see that we've changed actors. What will your fans think? They're only here because of you. And what about all the critics who support you? If we get on the wrong side of them, it'll be the death of the whole show.
He's not having it.
There'd be tickets to refund, fines to pay for breach of contract. The whole troupe's hard work would go down the drain. Don't you see how much this would cost us?
You just have to say you have had nothing to do with it, though.
You can't just take a job on a whim, then abandon your responsibility the moment you don't feel like doing it anymore. You're playing games with other people's hopes and dreams.
Director Mariyu, please. You're not being fair to Lynette.
Actually, Jillian, he's half right. I did kind of take this on a whim.
Yeah,
but my responsibility
it's not exactly
here is making
wrong.
sure you get back the role that belongs to you.
And I guess part of that responsibility lies with me, considering I badgered you into accepting the job.
Did you bring all the props?
Sorry I'm a little late to the show. Work's been keeping me pretty busy lately.
Lenny? What do you want? Do you think you can snap your fingers and make all my problems magically disappear?
That might be a little tricky, but instead, I could make something else magically appear.
Let's go.
What's this?
A draft complaint letter, my contract, your legal fees, reimbursement for the tickets, and an advance on the penalty fee for breach of contract. Mr. Mariyu, I'm stepping down from the leading role, regardless of whether you choose to cancel the rest of today's show.
If you do suffer unforeseen financial losses from this, you're free to seek damages as per the contract. And if you want to file a lawsuit, there's a draft here that you can use if you need it.
I can't believe this. You're
Yeah, there will be
literally
some
having me
there will be
lawsuit against
some
you with a straight face.
trick into the lawsuit.
Of course. All this Mora, it's a pittance to you, isn't it? Must be nice to have the luxury of prior success and fame.
I think you also had luxury of prior success and fame.
Look at us. We're huge stars. One minute we want to go on stage. The next we feel like backing out of the contract. But that's okay. We're famous. We can afford it. You have no respect for other people's work. You're treating other people's hopes and dreams like a big
Says
joke.
you who only casted Lynette to have a star in your show. I think it's a bit rich. It's not entirely wrong, but it's still a bit rich coming from him.
You don't give a hoot how much this show means to other people. You don't even care that the whole production might have to shut down because of you.
That's not true. I do care. And I'm under no illusion as to how much this show means to you.
Oh, brilliant deduction there. Of course it means a lot to me. This is my show. That's the only reason I asked you to be in it in the first place.
Really? Then why do your eyes tell a different story? The way you look at me.
Is his eyes?
It's full of contempt. Almost as if I've destroyed your work of art.
He was the one looking at Lynette with contempt.
What? I would never think that.
A couple days ago, I asked some associates to do some digging for me. I was interested to know who else you invited to play the lead apart from Lynette. Surprise, surprise. Turns out that all the other famous actresses you asked either had prior commitments or weren't a good fit for the role.
And I would have turned you down too, if not for an unlikely set of coincidences.
You didn't send those invitations because you were looking for a better actress than Jillian.
Yep.
But because your investor
Call him
wanted
out.
a big name in
Call
your
him
show.
out.
Director Mariyu.
It's clear that Jillian is an outstanding actress.
To get Maloney on your side, you chose to make Jillian the understudy, and then look for an opportunity for her to take the lead.
But then Lynette actually accepted your invitation.
I bet you were torn at first, weren't you? Do you stick to the tried and tested formula? Choose Lynette, use her celebrity to get the critics on your side so that you and your investors can line your pockets?
Or do you choose Jillian, so that you and your longtime collaborator can stage the show of your dreams? The original, unedited version of The Lost Puppet.
Well, you did it because of pressure from your investor or because you were lured by the money. Ultimately, you betrayed yourself by choosing Lynette.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't betray myself.
You mentioned prior success and fame earlier, but you're a well-known director
Yes,
yourself.
I knew
with
it.
Countless works to your name.
We saw that in
Wouldn't
like
that make you successful too?
pictures.
Or maybe, deep down, none of your current achievements really count as success to you.
Right now, you have an opportunity to send Jillian onto
Yup.
that stage and perform the second half as you always imagined it, faithful to your original script. Your work would be displayed for all of Fontaine to see in its true, perfect form.
Did you say perfect?
Will you keep pursuing a kind of success that you don't even value at the cost of your own artistic integrity? I still don't like how they split up the answer into
Or
this. So
will
stupid.
you act now before Maloney and the critics can protest and make your dream come true on the stage? And Jillian's dream. In fact, the dreams of the whole troupe.
The whole troupe?
Director Mariyu. Actually, most of the money Lenny brought came from us. We all chipped in.
We've worked with you for many years now. Your troupe has been here for you all the way from the empty theaters
Very
where we
supportive.
first performed to the opera house today. We watched as you slowly started down a path you used to despise.
That
The
must have
path
been
of
hard, yeah.
Powerful connections, drinks receptions, backdoor deals with critics, and collaborations based on fame instead of talent.
But this is just a temporary
Yeah, you
measure.
can keep telling
I
yourself
did it
that.
for the good of the troupe.
Keep telling yourself that.
And besides, this is how the
He
whole
probably has
industry works. Everyone else is
some
doing it.
truth in that part.
Yes, we know. Back when you started, you had to bite the bullet and do these things to keep the troop afloat. But then what happened? You began to embrace these methods more
stray
and more,
from your
becoming
path.
so reliant on them that every show you put out is overhyped by the media, and every script you write is edited to suit some celebrity's needs.
Yep.
Surely you must have noticed what's happening. While we've been performing at bigger and bigger theaters with each show, the applause is getting quieter and quieter each night. And the criticism from people who've seen the show is growing.
They're all on Lynette's side, which is pretty impressive, I have to say.
Maloney's friends are sycophants. They don't care if the audience is disappointed because the show doesn't live up to their glowing reviews. They praise the things they like and skirt around the things they don't.
Look, I know everyone's using the same promotional tactics, but does that really make it okay?
It does not.
Well, it's just a stopgap solution.
Yeah, but you've been consumed by it.
As soon as I've made enough more, I'll stop. Things will be different next time.
Next time, huh? Yeah. Next time, you won't use your connections. Next time, you won't pay off the critics. Next time, you'll let Julian play the lead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. If you make some money once, you'll want to do it again, then again. Slowly but surely,
You've already turned your back.
Your dreams.
You're already turned your back.
I won't turn my back on my dreams any longer, Director Mariyu. Never again.
Go, Jillian.
Me neither.
Go, Jake and Cyril. Persuasion. Today's the day. It's time for all of your dreams. Oh, we're sure this helps. Okay, we got +5, +8. Okay, I'm sure this works. Let's get this one. 6. That's a bit low. Oh, 30. Okay.
I had dreams too.
Okay, Talk No Jutsu worked. Let's see the show now. Yes, I hope we get a cutscene now. I'm gonna be very disappointed if we don't. Oh, come on! An unknown period of time elapsed before the group of mechanical puppets finally cleared the rubble, freed the protagonist, and reactivated her. They told her, "You have been buried here for thousands of years. The mechanical puppets now rule the world." It turned out that the puppets who started the uprising were none other than the protagonist's companions, whom she had rescued all these years ago. The protagonist now was revered as a hero by all of Puppet's kind. Mechanical puppets asked the protagonist what she wishes for, but she only wished for one thing.
Huh. The plot here seems a little different from what the reviews said.
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the latest ones available, built her a grand opera house, and summoned a huge audience.
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and cheers of her fellow puppets.
Hey, no spoilers! Huh? Wait, hang on, that's not even what's happening. The set has changed back to the one from the first act.
Oh, Cons. Please let this
Yeah, this
work
must be
out.
very stressful on him. He wasn't always very I wasn't always very sympathetic with him.
No need to be so nervous, Director Mariyu. We only told you Lynette would be quitting the show to get you to make a decision. We wanted you to believe that this show would have to end after today, no matter what you decided. But in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no reason we can't get Maloney to come around and keep the show going.
He's putting his experience at fooling people to work. You should definitely keep in touch.
You really thought this plan through. But I'm not upset about what you've done. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether the show will get cancelled. It's the audience. I've always thought the original script
This
is better,
moment of
but
truth.
will it move them like I've always hoped?
Yeah.
And Jillian does her curtain call. Will they applaud her? What if people only came to see the show for Lynette? And because of the reviews, what if they don't really care about the show at all? It feels like I've been hiding inside my safe little castle for too long. And now I'm scared to go outside the walls and hear what people really think.
We get to choose ... so let's choose ...
We're right here with you. We'll watch it to the end.
Yes, now please give me this cutscene. Oh gosh darn! The protagonist accepts the other offers for new parts in the grand stage built in her honor. Her only wish is to see her companions again, but she's told that they gave their lives for the revolution. Their bodies lie buried in the ruins where they first met. The protagonist returns to the ruins alone, where her journey first began. She performs one last dance before the graves of her companions. Her circuitry burns out, her parts become loose and fall from her body, but she keeps dancing until her body completely shuts down. It has taken her thousands of years, but at last, she finally found a reason for dancing.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new meaning. What a fantastic twist.
Time for the curtain call. It's the moment.
I'm still bummed we didn't get a cutscene. That gets us dirty there.
I could always leave my mask on. You would never know.
Sorry about that. Marina seems impressed. Yeah, I think this will be a good start, new start for Jillian. And Mario as well. Whoa.
This is what fame looks like, when it's truly deserved.
You did well.
Jillian, you were amazing! Syra was tearing up when you did your final solo dance.
Well, so are you.
Really? I was so nervous. My legs felt like they turned to jelly.
What looked like an actor unsteady on her feet was in fact a poignant expression of the protagonist's frailty in her last moments. Or whatever.
Oh no, I can't take any more of that.
Hey, Mario! What the heck was that? Why wasn't Lynette playing the lead?
Our articles are already going to press.
Sorry about that.
You better have a good explanation for this.
Hey now, it was...
Hold on. The decision was mine, and mine alone. They had nothing to do with it. If you have any concerns, gentlemen, then please direct them to me.
Heck yes, he's finally back on his own side.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then, I trust you'll have no objection to me pulling the plug on this production.
His worst fears of coming true. Time for Act 5.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role? It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work opportunities to come and watch her performance today. You have some explaining to do.
Lenny, it was all his idea. Mariu, explain yourself.
Oops.
Wait, Linny, as a matter of fact, this was a piece of performance art. In this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters, and by extension, the difference between human and machine. We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the lines between one performer and the next. So it's in service of the ambitious artistic goals of the production.
Oh wow, that's a rich one.
What?
It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We employed this technique as a means of breaking the fourth wall. It allows the audience to more intuitively understand the cognitive dissonance felt by the protagonist as a machine trying to reconcile
they
the
really
notion
planned
of their
this through.
humanity.
This is amazing.
The audience's experience mirrors the protagonist's own confusion and becomes part of the artistic performance itself.
Hold up. What is this nonsense?
Oh, I see. Well, bravo, Director Mariu. You even had me fooled.
That's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, perhaps it went over my head, but I'm sure our experts here saw the whole thing coming a mile away.
Oh.
You must have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely. Mr. Amory, I just heard that you managed to write your review after just the first 2 acts.
I'm sure that will help director Mario by setting future audiences up for the surprise twist at the end.
Yes, you're right. Director Mary, you and I are old friends. You should have said something. Then I could have played along even better.
Yes, well, to deceive the audience, you must first deceive your closest companions.
I love them.
I have to give credit to Lynette and her experience in performing magic. That's what inspired me to take my art to the next level.
You mean your show was partly inspired by Lynette's background in magic? Well, in that case, I'll have to plug it to everyone I know.
Unfortunately, I think Mr. Maloney is going to cancel the show.
Cancel the show? Mr. Maloney, is this
Oh
true?
my god, I love their acting.
While I accept that deceiving the audience in the manner you did certainly has artistic merit, this is not a magic show, and we don't want our audience demanding their money back.
Do they?
A very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens, we're prepared to reimburse and apologize to any audience members who weren't satisfied with the experience.
But based on their reactions today, I think that most people want to see is an excellent piece of theater, not celebrity cameos.
Plus, it looks like Jillian is better than me at delivering the excellence people want to see. I'm sure audiences will be very happy with the show if she's allowed to stay in the leading role.
Some reviews have said Lynette gave her the performance of the year. Wouldn't you say Jillian's was the performance of a lifetime?
Maloney, I believe there should still be time to tweak my article. From the look on Lynette's face, I think she's being sincere.
Oh, one other thing. We managed to get a meeting with Lady Farina earlier. All thanks to the Traveler's reputation, of course.
Hey, thanks. You're welcome.
Anyway, she agreed to write a review focusing on Jillian's performance and the quality of the show as a whole. She promised to give her honest opinion, and I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. There's sure to be a variety of opinions.
How would you rate this show?
Oh, I mean, art at its finest, clearly. But I'll have to give it some thought before I decide exactly what to write.
Yes, right. You do.
Of course. Always good to put some thought into these things. Especially now, with a growing range of voices out there. I imagine competition for readers becomes more fierce when everyone's discussing the topic.
Corentin, Amory, let's go.
Not happy, not happy. Okay, but it seemed to work.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone.
You sure resisted.
I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing
Yeah,
what I
it's
love.
an easy trap to fall into.
But somewhere
especially
along the way,
if you keep doing
I started
good
to
at
lose sight
making
of
money.
what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself.
At least you came to your senses just in time.
You're right. Yes. I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received? I've been looking into it a lot over the past couple of days, but it doesn't seem like it was one of our competitors.
Oh, you
after
did the
all.
work.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Wait, you're Jillian's sister, right?
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop her.
Lynette, I'm sorry.
Oh, she doesn't know how to react. Performance. What's she talking about? Sure, a whole big one. Yes, easy.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait.
Oh, do you mean when we ran into you at the Full of Sandra? And you said some mean things to me? As I recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister.
She's doing
It was
admirably
just a few
here.
words spoken in anger. Don't worry. Whatever it was you said, I've already forgotten.
Oh. Well, it sounds like Gina knows what she did was wrong. Owning up to your mistakes and committing to do better in the future is what counts.
Well said.
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for your family when they're being mistreated. Really, I do. But next time, maybe consider a different tactic? Something you can pull off more effectively, and without arousing suspicion.
Alright, that's enough.
Got it. Thank you, Lynette.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
Hey, here you are. I was wondering. Great! Everyone's in one place. That makes this so much easier. What do you think?
Another group
it's
photo?
Group photo time! We have to commemorate the debut of the Lost Puppet Director's Edition.
Sure, let's
okay,
go.
everyone, we all have pretty awkward smiles on our faces in the photo from Hotel de Boer, so this time, no forced smiles allowed.
Oh, am I really not allowed to force a smile? I'll try, I suppose. I think I can manage.
Lynette, Traveler, come on! 3, 2, 1, smile!
Let's see. Oh, it's cute. Review invitation. Okay, let's see. That was all that. Oh, there's another ending here. So I guess... No, wait. 5? Oh, we all only have 3 out of 5. Oh, oops. Yes, I'm gonna have to leave the other 2 for some other day. But we get some hints here. That's good. That's new, I think. Successfully persuading Lynette. Yeah, this is gonna be the bring the cat back. And this is gonna be the last one. That's all, folks. Maybe I should see what this one is. Let's go back. No, not events. Ah, quests. Okay, I'll leave the last one, but like this one is probably not gonna be that much. Continue playing.
Thank you both. I always told... Just like those critics with their... You're right. Yeah. Anyway, I've been looking...
Ah, yes.
I'm sorry.
Lynette.
I think we just wait and see how things play out.
That letter?
What?
Gina?
Director, it's time for... Oh, okay. Weird energy here. I think we came at a bad time.
I think so too, yes.
Lynette, Gina must have been worried sick about me. I'm sure even she wouldn't do something so stupid if she was in her right mind. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you somehow.
Jillian, no! This is completely my fault, and I'm the one who should have to bear the consequences. I got the wrong end of the stick and completely misjudged Lynette.
Shall we hear what Lynette has to say?
Well, since I haven't actually suffered any losses, seeking redress could be difficult. Maybe we could just let this one slide.
Really? Are you sure?
After all, Gina wouldn't be the first person to ever misjudge me.
Right? She's looking at trouble right now. I don't know what to do.
In any case, I think we can all agree it was a misunderstanding and nothing more. No need to overcomplicate things.
But still, I was wrong to write that letter. I should own up to my actions. Make it up to you in some way.
She seems pretty insistent.
If that's what you really want, then how about helping out backstage?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave the last one for another day.
The crew could always use an extra hand. Plus, it'll give your older sister a chance to keep an eye on you. And stop you getting into any more trouble.
Thank you, Lynette. Really, thank you so much.
That seems like a good solution. Always goes on. I finally awake.
Is it? I'm so much more at home here in the audience. I get to sit on a comfy seat, and I don't have to activate my energy-consuming modes all the time.
Sounds like Gina got more than she bargained out for a backstage job. You gave her a supporting role in the play too?
Mary said she's a very promising young actress, and she has natural chemistry with her older sister. In their capable hands, the show doesn't need me to attract an audience anymore.
Yes.
Phew. Freedom at last.
You don't feel even a little bit disappointed? Fame is right around the corner.
Fame is more trouble than it's worth. I'd rather leave that side of things to my brother and the others. I'm happiest when I get to sit in a quiet place, watch them do their thing, and cheer them on.
Like you're doing now?
Yep, exactly like I'm doing now.
Aw, it's cute. Okay. Let's get... not this. So requests. Let's get the rewards, like... here. Okay, 20 promotions to be had. I'll do it another day. Thank you so much for joining me. And catch you guys next time. Bye!
Fate is upon you.